You are now in the arena. Welcome to Gridiron, presented by Underdog. Woo woo! As always, you guys use code GRID. Support the show when you guys are using the Underdog app. My name is Kinsey. I am your host. I fly helicopters and planes, so I can definitely pilot these boys. And joining me today, I have some of my favorite guys, one of the most prolific figures in the history of sports media, and the man who's never lost a debate, Skip Bayless.
Hey.
Super Bowl champion, 5-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro cornerback, Aqib Talib. Woo. And our quarterback, top 5 passer in the history of the USC Trojans, Cody Kessler. Yes, all right, so coming off a packed Sunday of football, we have so much to talk about, including the Chiefs-Lions game last night, Travis Hunter, Dylan Gabriel, and so much more. So we have some breaking news. Brian Callahan, with a 1-5 start, just got fired. So we want to dive into that because that was breaking news about 5 minutes ago. So, Skip, are you surprised that Callahan got fired so quick?
I am. Amy Adams Strunk does not mess around. She's running the team as the daughter of the late Bud Adams. And we're, 6 games in to season number 2. He's 4-19 as the head coach. This is just me. I couldn't understand why he was hired in the first place because he was not the coordinator for Joe Burrow. And Joe Burrow can make anybody look pretty great as the quarterback. But he was remember, Zach Taylor's the play caller, and I think the buck stops on his desk when it comes to what the offensive design is, if not on Joe Burrow's desk. And off that, riding those coattails, Brian Callahan got this job, in part because I know his father very well. Bill Callahan is one of the greatest offensive line coaches ever and did coach the Raiders that I covered to the Super Bowl that year. They got smoked by your Buccaneers, but still, he did do that. And I think off the father's credentials, the son got a shot that maybe he didn't deserve. But obviously, he's the fastest coach fired after picking a quarterback number 1 overall. Cam Ward has not been very good. He's had flashes and moments. I'm not writing him completely off, but it just seems like Brian Callahan at least deserved this year just to see if he could figure something else out. And I assume Amy Adams Strunk just said, nope, I've seen enough. That's it.
Right. I think it was time for him. I actually think Callahan, he got that job because you're supposed to be an offensive guru, right? You got it from Sean McVay. You come from that tree.
Okay, well, I guess so.
Coach Taylor. Yeah. You come from Sean McVay. You come from Coach Taylor. So it's supposed to look a certain way. And I don't think they saw that. You know what I'm saying? In 6 weeks, we don't see no glimpse of Sean McVay. Nothing even close. So what do we hire you for? Like, you know what I'm saying? You hire somebody to do a job, they're not even close to doing their job. You gonna fire their ass too, right, Skip?
Yeah.
It's not even close. So they can't go wrong right here. I mean, hey, next man up. I mean, if it's somebody from Sean McVay tree, I think Cam will do well with somebody from that tree, but like you said, maybe it's the experience in the game, calling plays. Maybe they need to find somebody like that. You know what I'm saying? So I was with it, man. It was time for a change, man. Cam, he deserved better.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't mind the decision. I was surprised, like you were, Skip. I didn't think it was going to happen this early. I mean, it's 6 games into Cam Ward's career, and you're already losing your head coach, so that worries me. But this is the risk you take nowadays with hiring these young coaches who have never been a head coach before.
Yep.
Because sometimes it hits and it's great and you found your guy of the future, and sometimes it doesn't work and now you set your franchise back multiple years with a first-round pick or a first overall pick at quarterback that needs to be developed the right way. So it's frustrating. Either way, whatever they do going forward, they cannot miss again. You have to be perfect with your decision-making. They have a jump start right now in the process. They can spend all this time throughout the year behind the scenes, figuring out who they want to make their next coach, guys that they want to put on that short list, go do their due diligence, do these interviews, who's going to be great for Cam Ward, what's going to help our organization get to where we want to be, but also make Cam Ward the quarterback of the future. So they got to get it figured out. I know we spoke a couple weeks ago about me being worried about Cam Ward, and I know where he's from, and he's gone through some adversity, but this was the thing that I was concerned about.
Okay, so would you let Cam pick the next head coach?
No, you don't let him pick. You're not going to let him pick the next head coach, but if you have the right people in place to make decisions, they're going to look at all the film and do their interviews and watch all the tape and do these different things and say, hey, Cam Ward can play in this offense. Cam Ward can play for this guy. Or they may go get a defensive-minded coach, but you can't miss on your offensive coordinator because right now your focus, yes, needs to be in the entire team, but priority 1A is how you develop Cam Ward going forward because that's your investment.
I want all the way just put it on the hiring the young coaches, and this is the risk you take. You can hire an old coach. You never know. Mm-hmm. You don't know what's going to happen, man. You can hire an old guy who was great before, he come in, he trash now. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Sometimes it work with older coaches or younger coaches. Sometimes it don't. You know what I'm saying? This one ain't work out. Go to the next guy.
So allow me to say one more time, if they had picked Shedeur instead of Cam, I know you love Cam, but I love Shedeur more. I don't think this would have happened. That's just me. That's how good Shedeur is. Wow. He has the charisma factor, the it factor to change the franchise and inspire the defense as well as the offense. And I haven't seen Cam be able to do that yet.
See, I think Cam do have that. I mean, you look at everywhere he went, everywhere he's been, they won as well, just like Shedeur. I think that's what...
I mean, they didn't win national championship.
I mean, Shedeur and them didn't either.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
But listen,
they completely
the odds
turned around.
Shedeur at Jackson State and then coming to Colorado where they were a doormat.
I mean, they completely turned around the team that they went to. You know what I'm saying? The team was flat and damn near dead, and they brought it back to life. So I feel like Cam Ward does have that ability, and I feel like that's why him and Shedeur, they kind of clicked. That's what they got in common. That's why they're so close, because they both kind of got that charisma to turn the team around. You know what I'm saying? So,
I agree with that too. I mean, when you watch Cam Ward on film, he makes some throws that not a lot of guys can make, and he has these arm angles that you don't learn as a young player. He's just a natural thrower of the football. Those are things you can't teach. You hear coaches saying, hey, you can't teach that. That's what Cam Ward has. And Shedeur's in that category as well. He can make some throws on tape where you're like, all right, there's not a lot of guys that can do that. But back to your point, when it comes to hiring these young coaches, I get what you're saying. And there's times where coaches are great at one place and they don't do a good job at the next place. But at least when you're going through that process, you have a baseline of, all right, this is what we can expect from a Sean Payton. This is what we can expect from Pete Carroll coming to the Raiders. When you're hiring a guy like Brian Callahan or some of these younger coaches, you have no idea what you're going to get. You don't know what the organization is going to look like. You don't know what the foundation.
But you can name the ones who did good in those situations as well. You know what I'm saying?
100%. But I'm saying it's so hit or miss. That's why I'm saying either you find the guy of the future, like the McVays and the Kyle Shanahans of the world, where it's like, all right, we've got our guy, or you get the Brian Callahans of the world where it doesn't work out, and now you set your organization back a couple years, and this next hire becomes so important because if you miss, you're going to significantly hurt Cam Ward's development.
Is there any coach that you'd want to see with Cam Ward?
It's tough. It's too early. And I'll be honest, I'll call it. I thought Brian Callahan was going to be a good hire when they hired him last year. I thought,
Me too.
The Sean McVay tree, all of that, I'm like, he can be the guy that can turn around. I hate that they got rid of Vrabel in the first place. I'm a big Mike Vrabel fan.
Really? Okay.
Well, look what he's...
But it's working out for the Patriots. When they hired Callahan, and I think he had a little bit more to do with Joe Burrow's development. I mean, he went through an injury, helped him get back from that. He was in the quarterback meetings with him day in and day out for all of that time. They went through, even though he's not calling plays, as an offensive coordinator, you're still installing the game plan, going over it with the quarterback, making sure that you're on the same page with each other and that he can go out there and perform at a high level. So I was a fan of this hire. And then you go get Cam Ward. I mean, I said it back on a show I did, I think in April before the draft or back in February before the draft. I said, go get Cam Ward number 1 overall and pair him up with Brian Callahan. I think you're going to give him at least a shot to develop the right way. But then again, reality sets in. You never know what's going to happen.
Listen, anybody who coaches Joe Burrow is a product of Joe Burrow. I don't care what you say.
Yeah, I agree.
Again, I respect his ability as a coach, as an offensive coach. But no, it's not going to translate immediately, oh, you did that for Joe Burrow and you'll do that for Cam Ward. No, you won't.
I'm not saying it will, but when this is all going through the hiring process, these are all what ifs and maybes. When you just look at it from the outside looking in, you would think, okay, when the Titans were figuring out who's going to be our next head coach, and they did the interviews, but you see, okay, he worked well with Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow did this while he was working with Brian Callahan as the offensive coordinator. Maybe we can replicate the same thing here at Tennessee. The reality sets in, though, once they get there, you don't know if you're going to find that same thing, and you're not going to find a guy like Joe Burrow, but you go get a number 1 overall pick in Cam Ward, you're just hoping to replicate that and have some same magic.
Last thing about Cam Ward. I watched him a lot at Miami. I haven't watched him a whole lot yet this year. I don't know how much film you've studied.
I've seen I watched a couple games.
But at Miami, he tended to go Caleb too much, where he would just, he was so much more athletic and so much stronger and more physical than a lot of the people rushing him that he could beat all of them. and make a play on the run. You can't consistently get away with Caleb Williams on this level. We'll see Caleb again tonight. At some point, you have to stand and throw on time in this league to win big and win right and to win consistently. You just have to throw it from the pocket pretty regularly. You can do the other stuff in doses when you pick the right spot. But to me, Cam is still, and maybe it's just a product of a bad offensive line, he still runs around and tries to make plays that he made at Miami. You just can't pull it off. And I've seen too many where I'm just like hiding my eyes for him because bad stuff's going to happen when you try that.
Yeah, he's going to have his learning curve, of course.
Yeah.
He's going to have to figure out how the league works, the speed of the defense, nothing like college. But as he's figuring that out, shit, they could run the ball a lot better. You know what I'm saying? The flow of the game, the flow of the play calls could be a lot better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he could get a lot more help than he got right now. So get him up out of there, man. He don't have a team. Once you lose, it's one thing to call plays and do whatever you do, be in the meetings with Joe Burrow day in, day out. But now you got to lead all 65 of these guys.
Yeah. You do.
You know what I'm saying?
You wear a lot of different hats.
That's a totally different challenge.
To your point, you always knew immediately, first meeting, take one look at the guy.
Yep.
Has he got it or not got it?
Hey.
Yeah.
Immediately. You know what I'm saying? And some guys just be jokes, man. And once the guys like myself, the leaders on that team, label you as a joke, the rest of the guys go follow in line. And it's just not going to be good. So.
Well, I'm actually shocked. We did a little social media segment with some of the guys asking who was going to be the first coach to get fired. And we had Richie said Mike McDaniels, Gerald said Mike McDaniels, Skip said Jim Harbaugh.
John Harbaugh.
Oh, sorry, John Harbaugh.
John Harbaugh, yes.
Yeah,
okay.
John Harbaugh. Yeah,
Wow.
sorry about that. And Aqib, did you say Mike McDaniels too?
I did.
So nobody said Callahan. And then so that was
Boom.
cast. I wasn't expecting that at all. But let's talk about another team that's obviously struggling so badly because the Jets have now fallen to 0-6. Justin Fields threw for only 45 yards. He took 9 sacks. I know the Broncos defense is looking really good and dominant, but I got to know, Aqib, was Justin Fields' performance more about him or the Broncos defense? Because I don't know.
I can tell you. It definitely was about that Broncos defense.
Okay.
Man. They the top in the league. You ask me if I can go on fantasy and pick any defense right now, who wouldn't pick the Broncos?
Okay.
Are they 10 sacks up on everybody? They got a lockdown corner. They're getting their best linebacker back this week, hopefully. They doing this without their guy in the middle of that defense, man. So it definitely had everything to do with the Broncos defense, man. First of all, this how they attack you. They take away your main target. So BP, that's before Pat. You know what I'm saying? You see how I did that?
Yeah.
Before Pat. Garrett Wilson was 4th in the league in catches, 7th in the league in yards.
Yep.
Tied for 5th in the league in touchdowns. That was before Pat. He had 3 catches, 13 yards. Completely took him out the game.
Yeah.
And BD, that's before Denver. The Jets running game, they averaged 144 yards in a game. Third in the NFL. They now 5th after Denver.
Okay.
But they ran the shit out the ball. That's Hall. That's Justin Fields running it. They combined yards. They could run the ball. They had 90 yards, 50 yards below their average. You know what I'm saying? You 50 yards below your average, that's major. You know what I'm saying? So, and the third thing they do is they get after your ass. They get after your ass, man. They had 9 sacks on the day, 10 sacks up on anybody in the league. And Coop came out with 3 of them this game. It's everybody. It's not even just Nick.
And Benito leads inside.
Yeah, he lead the league, but it's not even just him.
Yeah.
It's coming from everywhere. The D tackles, the edges, man, they get after you all the way around, man. So when you get sacked, those yards come off your total team passing yards. That's why they got negative 10 yards. So it's not like Justin Fields has just been trash all year. I mean, he averaged himself 240 yards a game, his passing and his rushing. He almost beat the Steelers. He almost beat the Bucks. He had a nice 4th quarter, damn near came back and
Well,
beat
he
the
almost
Bucks.
beat the Broncos yesterday.
Shit, he almost did. He had a chance to beat the Broncos,
He
right?
did, yeah.
He almost beat the Dolphins. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's not like he's just stinking it up every week. So
But almost
just
isn't
when
a
you
win.
come up, when you play the Broncos, don't try to say, it's Justin Fields. It's just he's not just trash. It's just he just came across that vaunted Broncos defense, and that's the result of that shit.
But not to get one win, all 6 games?
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. If you're fighting for a win, the last defense you want to see is the damn Broncos.
Hey, sometimes it's tough to get a win in the NFL.
It is. You know what I'm saying? It be like that.
Tell us about
tough
that,
to get
Cody.
16 of them sometimes, too. I think it's a combination of both. I think it is. I agree with Aqib. I think the Broncos are the best defense in the NFL right now. They're the most complete defense in the NFL.
Yeah.
They're second in both scoring and total defense, but they can stop you on the ground and they can stop you through the air. They're 6th right now in passing, or they're 6th in rushing defense, and they're 4th right now in passing defense. But with that being said, and Vance Joseph's been great. He's got those guys ready.
Confusing the shit out of you.
He is so tough to decipher when you get up there on 3rd down, especially when you get in those passing situations. It's a nightmare to figure out where to send the offensive line and play off of that. But the other thing for me right now that's frustrating with Justin Fields is that you see flashes, like Aqib said, of how good he can be. There's times where he plays games and you think, all right, I can work with that.
Yep.
He has the talent. It's there. He can make these big-time throws. He can do these things. He just lacks the consistency. And you feel it this year. You watch that Pittsburgh game in week 1, and that was one of the best games that he played in the NFL as a quarterback. He was dialing up. He was figuring out man zone. They were on the same page with the offensive coordinator, motioning the tight ends, hey, making checks at the line, throwing a dot over the top to Garrett Wilson. He was playing in rhythm. He was playing comfortable. But since then, it just feels like he's been regressing. And I'm not saying he's playing terrible, but I went back and watched Justin Fields this year. I really watched the film, and I really watched this Bronco game. To me right now, it feels like he lacks confidence. And the confidence is not only just in himself, but I think it's in the play calling and with the guys around him. It just doesn't feel like they're all on the same page. And when I know that a quarterback has lost confidence, the first thing that I see or the first thing that I notice is that they don't have anticipation anymore. They start holding on to the football.
Yep.
They're not playing in rhythm. They want to see a guy come open instead of throwing them open or trusting that they're going to be in their spot. And then when you hold on to the football, what happens? That leads to sacks. That leads to you trying to do too much. You start improvising. You don't have that big play capability outside of the pocket. He struggled at times to throw on the run. You just don't get in a rhythm as an offense, and that's tough because once you lose that confidence, it's hard to gain it back. The other thing that I look for is their footwork. And with Justin Fields right now, you start seeing that back foot get outside of his frame. He's not comfortable in his drop. He's not hitting that final step, stepping up in the pocket, keeping a good base, and delivering an accurate throw. And if you're a quarterback in this league, and you're doing a 5-step drop, I need you to hit your back foot, hitch up to 7.5, be right down the midline, good base, and deliver the football. Go watch Dak in his games. Go watch Baker Mayfield in their games and their footwork and the way that they play in rhythm. You're not seeing that right now with Justin Fields. He's hitting his back foot, and instead of thinking, all right, I'm going to make this throw, I'm going to let it rip, I'm confident in this throw, he starts drifting backwards a little bit, or he stays in the same spot, and you're hurting your tackles, and you're putting pressure on your guards. The offensive line isn't playing great, but he's not doing them any favors right now. It's a combination of everything. So I'm not out on Justin Fields, man. I'm really rooting for him. I want him to be successful. We saw it in college. We've seen flashes in the NFL. It is there. It's just about getting the most out of him and letting him build that confidence. But it's tough. When you start out 0-5 and things aren't going your way, it's tough week in and week out to go watch film and believe in yourself and say, all right, I'm going to turn this around. We're going to get it figured out. So I hope he can because I don't know how many more opportunities that he's going to get going
that's
forward.
A good point. I'm going to give you your Broncos defense. It's between Denver and Dallas, who has the best defense in the NFL right now. We'll get to that garbage trash in just a minute. But I have watched Justin Fields. It feels like forever.
Same.
It's been 5 years, and his starter record is 14-35. You can say, well, he's played for trash teams. But his record is by far the worst in the NFL. I hate the word trash. I'm not going to go trash, but I'll go refuse on Justin Fields. You know, like he's just, I'm just going to say it. I don't think he can play in the National Football League as a starting quarterback. I just don't believe in him, and I'll tell you why. There's one thing you have to be a consistent starting quarterback that you can at least challenge for the playoffs with year after year. You have to throw accurate footballs consistently. You have to throw balls that are catchable consistently, and he does not. That's just me, but I like him. I like the way he handles himself. I like his poise. In fact, he's gotten so poised this year that in 6 games, all losses, he's thrown 0 picks and he's lost 0 fumbles. Well, that's highly, you would say, that's really impressive.
Yeah, very.
But he's degenerated into, I stand and I hold, and damned if I'm going to throw a pick. I'm not going to do it. I'll just, because I'm big enough and strong enough, I can take the abuse in the pocket. I'll just stand here and you can pull me down if you want, but I'm not going to cut this loose.
And then that's a great point, and which surprises me too, Skip, because he has 0 interceptions.
0.
When you see a guy that starts holding the ball and they're afraid to make a mistake, normally it's because they're throwing multiple picks a game. So that's a great point. He's not turning the football over, but it still feels like he's afraid to make that mistake.
Okay, so then we come down. Remember, it's 11-10 Jets until 5 minutes are left in the game. It's 11-10 Jets, and I'm thinking, are we going to see the upset of the year? Because your team's really good, and your quarterback's really good, but he was having a rough day yesterday.
Yeah, nothing was happening.
And you have 2 throws to Garrett Wilson, who most people consider a top 10 receiver, and he'll make 1 circus catch a game, except not until yesterday. He caught 3 for 13. That's all before Pat, right? That's about Surtain, right? So he goes 3 for 13, but he has 2 late routes that he runs, and he gets open. And Justin just flat out missed him with 2 throws that could have won the game, because you just need, right? They had gone ahead and you just needed a field goal at that point. And he missed him. He missed him on the sideline. He just threw it low and away. And it's a pretty easy pitch and catch to me, because he broke open to the sideline. You have to lead him, obviously, to the sideline and just hit him out here away from the DB, and he throws it down here. And Garrett Wilson probably should have caught it. I think he hurt himself on the play because he was limping off after that. But I'm like, man, those are just throws where that's why you're 0-6. You just haven't made the throw at the moment. That's just me. And yet I like the way he carries himself. And I want to love him. I tried to love him coming out of Ohio State. And he just won't let you. I'm just not sure he's that guy.
How do you feel about the Jets head coach with the 2-minute drill decision?
At the end of the
first half.
That was bizarre.
Hey,
right?
So there's 32 seconds left, and it's 4th and 1 at your 47, and it's a 10-6 game. You're down 10-6.
Right.
And you're like, well, at least try. You know,
one more play.
Can you get 3? Can you go get 3 and make it 10-9? Heck, let's just do something. And they let it tick, 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 tick.
I was like,
you know what made them do that, though, Skip?
Okay, it's the defense. All right, but Aaron,
always going to be the defense.
You in the game, and it's nice and it's close, and we're not supposed to be in this game. Let's not make that dumb mistake.
Okay,
you know
that's what Aaron Glenn said afterwards. We're going to get the ball coming out the second half.
Exactly.
So I don't want to do anything stupid now. He didn't say that word stupid, but that's how that was.
I think it was more so the operation of how it went down, and then you see Garrett Wilson start walking off the field while the clock's still running. I thought they were going to run a play, or at least try a Hail Mary, or try something. Even if the clock runs out, right, we got one last shot. The operation for me was what was so confusing. You know, we don't have the most explosive offense in the world. We don't have Brandon Aubrey. Like, what are we doing here? Like, we don't want to get the Broncos the ball back. That's why we went for it. That's why we got it. We just don't want to get y'all the ball back and let y'all try to come get 3. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like he did what he was trying to do. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that big of a deal, in my opinion.
Well, Garrett Wilson thought it was a big deal because he gave him an earful.
It was also a big deal.
There was some tension.
It was also a big deal. So you talk about his catches. Maybe them balls are thrown behind because he cutting them route short because Pat is strapping you.
There's no doubt about that.
Now, you usually run them at the sticks. Now you're running them at 7 because he's sitting at the sticks and you see him. He's not fucking moving. So when you break it, he's like, oh shit, he broke it this early. I got to throw it early.
Okay.
So it's more than just Justin Fields when it comes to throwing that Pat. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of bad balls go to Pat because you nervous as shit by just throwing it to him. You know that, Cody.
Was Garrett Wilson intimidated by Patrick Surtain?
Yeah, he was.
Okay.
And
I would be too.
And Justin Fields was too. They tried to all right, I'm going to throw you the ball, but he trying to aim it and not throw it. Yeah. He trying not to throw a pick to Pat. He fucking intimidating, bro. 6'2", monster, strapping everything that line up in front of him. So how could you not be intimidated?
Yeah, and you can't do that as a quarterback. And I'm not going to speak for Justin Fields. I'm not saying that he was intimidated. He was afraid. But it feels like that when you watch the film. Like he's hesitant to throw the ball because he's worried about making a mistake. And he doesn't want to make that crucial mistake because he's already not playing great football this year. And I know you talk about the numbers, but if you look at the numbers, there's a difference between when the game's close and early on in the game and then the fourth quarter when it's out of reach and he starts getting some of those completions. Because right now with his QBR, he's bottom of the NFL. Not last, but he's down in the lower half of the NFL. And when you can't, that takes into account some of those, pad and stats at the end of the game and meaningful reps and is it a crucial situation? It takes into account situational context. Right now, Justin Fields is not performing at a high level when the team needs him to. But if you go back and watch the film, it's not just that. It's not him trying to force a throw to the guys' coverage. There's a play where they have a quick out to the right side from the slot. They have a crosser on third down, a guy wide open. They have stick routes at the chains where I need you to just let it rip. Hit your
But that sound good though, Cody. You know it's not that easy. When they lined up and they showing you one thing, you come out, you look this way, and then by the time you look, you see that wide open, Benito on my ass.
I'm talking post snap. He gets the ball, he confirms, I see the out route, I have leverage on the inside, rip it. He's just holding it, and you see him hesitate. I'm like, throw the ball. Then on a third down, they have a crosser coming underneath, and the safety tries to cut it, sure, but he's still 8 yards deep. Get it to him. Let him get it on the upfield shoulder so he can run after the catch and then try to beat him to the sticks. At least give him an opportunity instead of holding the ball and then taking a sack. And then there's another play where it's, I think, 3rd and 6 to 7, and they have a bunch of guys that are sitting at the sticks where they're supposed to catch it and fall backwards and get a first down. He had 2 options on that play, and both of them, he's just holding it, and that's how you get 9 sacks. And there were times the offensive line was losing at the point of attack. Don't get me wrong. It's not all on Justin Fields, but there's too many times in that film yesterday where guys are open, he's just not pulling the trigger, and he's not playing confidently.
I mean, you see that a lot with Van Joseph defense, man. He confused the shit out you. He put all them guys in A-gaps, line them up at the edges. You don't know who coming. You got to decipher that. And on top of that, you got to decipher, are they playing man or are they playing zone? Is Pat going midpoint these 2 receivers, or is he going to stay on number 1? Like, you got to decipher that like this. You got about 1.9 seconds to do so. You know what I'm saying? So it sounds real easy from the arena, but Cody, you of all people should know, once you get under center, that shit is not easy. So did Justin look trash versus the Steelers?
No, he looked solid, great against
So did he look just trash versus the Bucks? He had a late touchdown drive in there.
I'm not saying he looked trash by any means.
The Dolphins? He looked trash versus the Dolphins?
He played better in that game.
So that's 3 out of 3 games he was trash. 3 games he wasn't. He didn't even play against Buffalo. So 3 games he was solid. 2 games he was pretty bad. I mean, come on
he's
now.
29th out of 33 in QBR.
Well, I'm going to talk about that QBR too. Let's keep that QBR right in the middle of this arena.
Okay.
But
we're going to keep it right here in the middle of this arena.
With that being said, you know this too, Aqib, and I know it too. That's why I'm sitting on this damn couch right now. You have to be able to go out and play against Vance Joseph, and you have to be able to play against Brian Flores, and you got to be able to play against Jesse Minter. You've got to go out there and play at a high level consistently if you want to be a starter in this league. And right now with Justin Fields, he's gone through multiple teams, and I know he hasn't had the best chance to go out there and succeed, and they haven't put him in great situations.
Right.
But I just worry right now that it's becoming too consistent with the struggles that he's having. I don't know how many opportunities he's going to keep getting.
My whole point is, I know he's struggling, right?
Yeah.
But it looked extra bad yesterday, right?
Yeah.
And it wasn't Justin. It was you playing that defense. That's why it looked extra bad. That's my whole point. I mean, I ain't saying he's a starter. I ain't saying he's a top 5, top 20, even a top 32. But you look this way, you look this way, you look this way, then you play the Broncos, and it's fucking super bad. That's a product of your environment. That's them damn Broncos.
Well, you are bleeding orange over there today.
Hey, man. Hey,
you've been on the Bronco train.
A win is a win, man. Sometimes it's ugly.
Yeah. Well, Skip Bayless not sure if Justin Fields is even NFL caliber. Okay, so
let's starter. Yeah.
As a starter. Yeah. So let's move on. I would love to talk about, Dak Prescott because he's been doing so good. But I think his MVP just slipped away from him because Cowboys decided not to re-sign Rico Dowdle in 2024, and this man came with vengeance yesterday. 239 scrimmage yards. That's insane. So, Gil, and your wager that you put on, it's looking good.
We ain't going.
Yeah, you don't even have. I think your wager's good. You can keep your money. So, Skip, how do you explain the Cowboys losing at Carolina?
I can't. I didn't see this coming. I was so angry after this game. I posted a video in which I flipped off Jerry Jones. I got confused. I didn't know whether to go like this or like this. And I flipped him off.
Yeah, happens all the time.
I need to go look at that video. I'm going to repost it.
This was all-time shameful and disgraceful. In fact, Jerry was so angry and embarrassed after this game, he did not speak to the media, and I can't remember the last time that happened because Jerry does not miss opportunities to speak to the media no matter what just happened.
Yeah.
This was so scary bad that I'm still shook up from it because just remember, the Dallas defense got called out by an ex-running back who was once undrafted, who played special teams for Dallas for 4 years, then started last year, who was the backup running back in Carolina until Chuba got hurt a game ago, or he wouldn't even be on the football field right now, or just carry here or there. He called them out, and they called in sick yesterday. He said, you better buckle up, and we just buckled because from the start, his first 3 touches go 9-yard carry, 12-yard carry, 13-yard catch and run. And I'm like, what are you doing? Do you have any pride? This was gutless. This was heartless. And worst of all, it's just prideless on both sides of the ball, because I thought Javonte would show up yesterday to say, they made the right choice. I'm going to show you the Dallas Cowboys made the right choice, me over somebody named Rico freaking Dowdle. And what happened? Javonte goes 13 carries for all of 29 yards. He came in 3rd in the league in yards per carry, and he goes 13 for 29 because my offensive line was prideless and gutless and heartless also. And do you realize that Rico Dowdle had the most combined yards yesterday of any former player against a former team in the history of the National Football League? That's what we allowed Rico Dowdle to do. And Dak again played very well. And George Pickens is just a flat-out difference-making star.
He's a stud.
And if CD is going to come back for the Washington game next Sunday, which they say he's on track to come back, that gives you a chance to score 40 a game, but we have to score 40 to win. And we needed to score 30-something, 31 yesterday to win the game. And when I least expected it, Dak got it 1st and goal at the 8. This is with 10:15 left, and he fumbles the first snap. And I don't know whose fault it was. I couldn't really tell. But he fumbled it, and it screwed him up, and then he missed Pickens on a scrambled throw in the end zone, and he had him. And it wasn't a great Dak throw, and we've seen nothing but great from Dak so far this year. And then we did stop him one time in the game and gave Dak the ball back, and he flips it to Javonte on a screen and loses 7. And the next play, they lose 12, and they're just going backwards. And we had to kick it back to them, and you know what was coming. What was coming was 71 yards in 15 plays. So we get it down to 3rd and 7. And I'm thinking, you know what, we got a shot here. It's 3rd and 7 at their 17 in that final drive. And we have to go with Kaiir Elam, a Buffalo cast-off who's making no money, a bargain basement free agent that we signed out of Buffalo. And it's Leggett, and Leggett is falling down on the play. He's losing his feet, and Kaiir wraps him up from behind. I thought it was interference. He said after the game it wasn't, but it was interference, and it's fine with me. And so they get a 1st down, and then we get them to 4th and 4 at our 40. And I don't know what Deron Bland is doing, but he's playing 12 yards off the ball on 4th and 4. And it's the easiest pitch and catch to little Hunter Renfrow, who's really good at this. That's about all he can do. Just run a little quick slant. Just say, here.
They almost intercepted it?
Huh?
I thought they kind of baited him, and they was this close to getting a turnover, though. So
boy, I didn't see that.
I thought that might have been Eberflut's best call of the damn night, honestly. Like,
really?
Yeah, the backer came flying. Kenneth.
He almost
the whole player.
If he would have left 1 second early, he came out of A gap. If he would have left a half a second earlier, he might have had a walk-in touchdown.
That's not his forte. That's not what he's done in his career.
I mean,
that's why he's a cast-off from the Chargers.
And you got to play it off like that to, invite the throw. Like, I look like I'm playing off, so you think, I'm going to throw this quick slant. He pop out, boom. So I've seen that before. Like, you know what I'm saying? I seen Danny Trevathan do that. And
okay, but this wasn't Danny Trevathan.
Yeah,
he did it to I thought Romo one time. Do you remember that?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I've seen that work before. He playing off just to invite the throw, in my opinion, and it was a fingertip away from.
But how do they know that he's not breaking out? How do they know?
Like, so that's what Bland got to do. If he break out, nah, you got to be there. Yeah. So you ready for the outbreak? But I'm outside leverage. I'm ready for the outbreak. If he go in, I'm depending on that linebacker to get me.
On 4th and 4, I'm playing press. I'm just up in his face.
Yeah, me too.
You're going to press press.
Okay, yeah.
I'm just defending.
You're locked up.
I'm just defending Eberflus a little bit. I thought it was his best call. The night was shitty, so I thought it was his best call of the night.
Really? Okay, speaking of the call, I just got to say this one more time. They have flat out quit on Matt Eberflus, the coordinator. I call him Eber fraud because he's just fraud. I don't know what he's got. I don't know what he does. They don't know what he does. And they said after the game they practiced way more man this week, but he didn't call it. Okay, help me out. What, are you just choking during the game? I'll play safe. I'll play zone. I'll play too deep. You know, like let's just play not to lose. That's playing not to lose, and you can't stop anything or anybody. If you can't stop the run and you can't run, you're going to lose. But I thought Trevon Diggs was interesting after the game. He said, we got to do it more easily and simply. He's just saying, let's just play man because that's what we do. Blitz and play man. They blitzed one time and Leofau got the only sack of the game off a blitz. Okay? And what? Show me. Do you have anything? We should have won that game by 2 touchdowns. Seriously, we're that much better than they are. Even though they did beat Atlanta at home 30-0, and I didn't watch it, so I don't know how they did it.
Yeah, the Panthers are better than I thought.
I think they are.
They're not a bad football team in my opinion.
Yeah.
Phoenix had a lot of turnovers.
I put them like with Cleveland. They lose games, but
right.
they got a good football team. They stopped Javante. Shit, they top 10 run defense. So run defense came to play.
So we just saw what Amy Adams Strunk did. Would Jerry fire the coordinator this week, or would he demote Eberflus? I don't know. Just you got to do something to shake it up, man.
Aqib
It's
looking
just
for a
going
job.
south.
He's been wanting.
He's following
his job.
Come with that sack, man.
No, I'm serious about this. You would be 10 times better than you would be right now. Right now.
Skip, I wouldn't sleep, man.
Okay.
I had bags under my eyes on that fucking sideline.
You would.
We'd be going in.
You'd be going.
Diggs didn't rock with me.
They would rock. They would rock. And they would rock the house.
Yeah. I hired Chris Harris Jr. come over here with me.
We'd
get it on.
Okay, well, I'm saying, I don't want to lose you from this show, but if that's what it took to save my Cowboys.
Dallas, he's not available.
Yeah.
But I'll give you my explanation for the loss.
Yeah.
It's that damn defense, man. It's not even close.
You guys are the new
trash.
Bengals right now.
It's bad. It's bad, and to me, it's not the players. It's not the players. Like you said, it was way too much zone, not enough pressure. I mean, they don't need Parsons, but I don't see the pressure. You know what I'm saying? You got a 4-man rush like you got Parsons. You don't have them, so you got to blitz. So
got to blitz.
No pressure at all, man. You give up 400 yards. You let Bryce Young throw for 200 yards, 3 touchdowns, look like a damn all-pro. Rico had...
all 3 of those touchdowns are wide open.
Wide-ass open.
Wide open.
Yeah.
Right. You know why? Because it's laps in the zone.
Laps.
Yeah.
Like, bro, we on the 7-yard line. Just strap up, bro. Look who you got.
Yeah.
So they still playing cover 4 from the 7 type shit. That's just not good play calling to me. So Rico had 183 yards out of 216 rushing yards. That's nuts, bro. You give up 14 rushing first downs. like Wade used to put emphasis on rushing first downs.
That's good.
If we give up a certain number, that means we're getting our ass beat.
Yeah.
That's an attitude
this
problem.
Is ass beat.
It was a fucking ass beating. And you said it, 1 sack. You call him Eber fraud.
Yeah.
I call him Eber fluke.
Okay.
Because the damn 5 sacks last week was a fluke.
It was a fluke.
Everything he's done so far has been a fluke. How he get the job?
Well, it was Justin Fields standing back there holding the ball saying, come get me.
That's what I'm saying. So it's
true.
1 sack by Eberflus.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Once again, Dak tried to carry. He go crazy again, 250 yards, 3 touchdowns. Pickens pop out, but they ran up against a top running defense.
They did.
And they stopped that run. So it was Dak and Dak only. He couldn't carry enough. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I tell you, they can't make the playoffs playing defense like this, man.
No.
It's no matter how good Dak played, 90 QBR.
90.
It don't matter how good he play, he just can't do it by himself. You got to have something from the defense, and it got to be addressed this offseason, man. You got the guys. You got the secondary. Overshawn come back. You got your move, athletic linebacker.
Yep.
You got fast guys. You got speed rushers. It could look a lot better than that, man. It's shit. Wade Phillips is out there.
He's out there.
It could look a ton better than that.
Yep.
And all you need is to get the guys on board. They just don't believe in it. You see, every game, Diggs is talking about, well, we should do this. We asking them to do this. And it's like, they just don't believe in him. And he a joke to them.
He's a joke.
Eberfluk, man.
Yeah.
It's a fluke. I don't know how he got the job. Hey, he fooled the shit out of Jerry. I don't know what he wore, what imagination Louis V. Cologne he had on. He made Jerry fall in love. I don't know how he got the damn job.
I don't know.
It's trash, man.
Yeah.
They won't go to the playoffs like that, Skip.
No, I agree. I don't got a nickname for him, but I agree. It's the same story, different week. This defense cannot figure it out. To your point, man, they just guys running wide open. There's no gap integrity. It's a bunch of individuals playing instead of a unit that's playing together. And you can see that on film.
You can
so
see
many
it.
guys have missed assignments and missed opportunities. I want to go back, though, to that 4th and 3.
Yeah.
Now, I went back and watched it again. Bland is 7 yards off the ball.
Right.
He's playing slightly outside.
Skip put a little extra on it with
I know he said 12, but he's playing 7 yards, but his first step at the snap is backwards.
That was wrong.
So he goes backwards at the first step. It's 3 yards. It's 4th and 3, right?
It's
you know
Hunter Renfrow.
But okay, and I'll get to that in a second too, but you know that they're going to go quick game. If you go look at any offensive coordinator, offensive call sheet, you're going to see 4th and 1 to 3, we're going to have 2 runs and we're going to have 3 quick game plays.
Yep.
There's hardly anybody in the league that's going to go on 4th and 3 and try to take a shot down the field. It just makes no sense. So you have to expect the ball to come out quick. To your point, though, I don't think they were trying to bracket that, or I don't think he was playing that. That was a whole defender because he was on the right A gap or on the right side, and his first step when he dropped, the linebacker was he dropped straight back, waited for a second, then he read Bryce Young's eyes and took off because as that whole defender, you're taught to read the quarterback's eyes.
Right.
So he was late getting there because of that. I don't know if he thought immediately, I'm running that way, and Bland knew that he had help on the inside. It looked like cover one hole to me across the board and that they were just playing too far off the ball. To your point with Hunter Renfrow, play press. He's a hell of a route runner on those short and intermediate routes. I'll give him that. He can route anybody up from, maybe not Aqib, but route anybody up from 5 to 7 yards, those little in-outs and the Colorado routes where you run the slant and then break back out. But you can't give him the opportunity to get off the line to do that. And you're not expecting him to go over the top, so just play tight. I'm not worried about him getting beat deep.
Right.
And I know Bland can run with him anyways. He's not a deep threat. So that confused me. I don't understand why they did that. It just feels like right now to me that they're in desperation mode and Eberflus is trying everything and they don't have an answer. And he starts feeling that the guys aren't trusting him, so he wants to do so many different plays and so many different looks and so many different things on the defensive side of the ball instead of, to your point, just play man-to-man and load the box and trust your corners on the outside to let them cover. Just let them cover. And I do got to give credit, too, to the Panthers in that offense. That was a hell of a play with the Rico Dowdle one. I know we said guys running wide open, but that touchdown to him down the sideline, if you notice, he's on the right side as a running back. They fake to him. They clear out that side. He slips through the C gap of the offensive line and then runs down the sideline. So
then they put that guy in the bond, that curl flat dropper.
Yeah.
He had a guy running free in front of him.
Yep.
He kind of just slid right behind him.
And you pull out the corner with someone over the top. It was a hell of a play call. I got to give them credit.
As usual, Diggs wound up in the end zone going like this.
Like, what are we doing?
Because someone should be there. But you put a DB in a bind, it's tough. They got to make a business decision, and he made the wrong one. And he was wide open. But the other thing with me right now is it feels like they don't have an answer for one guy every game because they play New York, and Russell Wilson goes for 453 touchdowns. Then they play Caleb. He has his best game of the year.
He did.
He goes for 4 touchdowns, right? Then they play Bryce Young. He goes for 3 touchdowns. This week, it was Rico Dowdle's turn to go out there and play and make a difference in this game. And we thought the whole year, the whole offseason, it was going to be Micah Parsons that had the revenge game. Little did we know it was Rico Dowdle that the Cowboys had to worry about. So,
and it's because they playing so much zone. If you play that much straight zone, you got to have a 4-man rush. They don't have no 4-man rush. Parsons is clear across town. You know what I'm saying? He is in a whole nother state. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So there's no 4-man rush, and you playing just regular cover 2. Like you got Warren Sapp and Simeon Rice there. You don't have those guys. You know what I'm saying? So
by the way,
it's easy for them quarterbacks to sit and pick apart zone coverage. That's what all those guys you just named, that's what all of them are doing.
Quick point about Micah Parsons so far. He really just has 2 sacks. I'm not giving him the one on Dak in the 40-40 game. That wasn't a sack.
That was a touchdown game-saving sack.
He really has 2 sacks, and there. If I give you the Dak one, it's a chase down sack. You know, like it's not even a pocket sack. It's not where he wrecked the pocket.
But he dictates protection so much.
And there's plenty of times he's wrecking the pocket.
He's wrecking the pocket, and he don't get the sack. And you give everybody else one-on-ones because we know you could dictate. Put Parsons right here. I could tell you what protection they're going to be in.
100%.
So now we can run games and stuff because he dictates everything.
The least mobile quarterback in the National Football League is now playing for the Cincinnati Bengals. His name is Joe Flacco. And yesterday, Micah Parsons had 0 sacks and 0 hits on the quarterback. Just for the record, Like, we don't miss him.
I mean, he probably got doubled every play. I mean, I'm not sure, but 85% of the time, I guarantee you, was
But who are you getting double by? You had like Cody Ford in there. You had backup.
You still feel that way, Skip. You confidently can say that this defense right now doesn't miss Micah Parsons on the edge.
Trust me.
11 from heaven.
Trust me. He played in games we got obliterated last year, just the way we got obliterated.
But we're just talking about this year.
I'm talking about right now.
How Eberflus playing.
You have an offense that's number 2 in scoring offense and it's playing at such a high level, and you have the worst defense in the NFL. It's hard for me to not put a correlation to. We just got rid of our best pass rusher, and now we're better off.
Baltimore is worse.
Baltimore.
Okay.
Jets are worse.
Baltimore only gave up 17 yesterday. They took a step forward.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they took a step forward.
Only 17.
The Cowboys, they took 2 steps back yesterday. They gave up 400 yards, 200 yards rushing. Now we get to talking about your heart.
I'm just going to say
it ain't just the coach at this point. Now it's your
heart.
Trust
me on this, because I live and die with every snap of every game. We had 2 home games early last year against the Saints and then the Ravens. And the Saints ran us off the field with Micah playing every play. They had 35 points at halftime. It was 35-16 at halftime. The Ravens ran for 247 at Jerry World with Micah playing every snap. The Eagles came to Dallas and ran for 197 and won 34-6. Then we went to Philly and they won 41-7 with Micah playing every snap. It just didn't change. Now, Eberflus wasn't the coordinator, but it's like rotten to the core. It's like systemic now, where we're just flawed at heart.
But with that being said, then you address other issues on your team, because Micah Parsons was not the problem. I mean, he's a guy that is generating pressure. You watch the first game of the year.
When you invest that much money, how are you going to address the other issues? With what money?
Well, they paid Odigizua. They have other guys on that team. I just feel like right now, the guy that they are missing is Micah Parsons. I'm not saying they'd be undefeated. I'm not saying he would change the world and all that.
I don't think he would have changed a thing.
Really.
The same things would have happened, and he would be the highest paid non-quarterback in all of football, and we would be stuck where there's no place to run and hide. You can't get out of the salary cap.
We're not going to change Skip my Cody. Don't even.
I know. I
don't even worry about it. Parsons is not it.
Yeah.
He ain't getting no pressure.
He ain't it.
He don't get no sacks. Hey, the Cowboys do not need Parsons right now, even though it's built to ass on defense week in, week out. They don't need him.
It's about to get cold in Green Bay. It's going to get dark at 2:30 in the afternoon. It is.
He liked that.
Yeah.
I just feel like the Bengals and the Cowboys are synonymous. They pay their wide receivers. They've got their quarterback.
Yeah.
The Bengals have trainers, and it doesn't make a difference. They don't have enough money for everybody else.
But the difference, you know what the difference is between them? The Cowboys draft great defensive guys. You know what I'm saying? Like Overshawn, like Diggs, like Bland, like Parsons, like all the guys they got.
You don't have to pay a bunch of people.
You don't got to pay.
You got those guys.
They draft completely different. The Bengals draft.
So you just a coaching issue.
Man, it's a straight
got the players.
Right now it is.
Have you finally given up hope on them in the playoffs?
No.
Oh.
There's
a little hope.
There's a tiny
bit.
hope, because we got our arch rival coming to Texas next Sunday. And
if they lose this weekend, are we out?
I got to see it first. I got to see how bad it looks.
Skip is not going to be out. Okay, well, there was a team I was kind of out on, I got to be honest. I was hating on them, but just because I don't like them. So, Kansas City Chiefs, though,
I'm with you on that.
Was not out on them, because last week I asked him who's going to the Super Bowl. He still told me the Kansas City Chiefs. And now they went in last night and they beat one of the quote-unquote, I guess, best teams we thought in the league. So, Aqib, are the Chiefs underrated or are the Lions overrated?
I still think the Chiefs underrated.
Okay. Kind of knew you were going that way.
The Lions not overrated, man. They went to a good-ass team on the road, tough-ass place to play. That team had their back against the wall. And usually, if you're a good team and you got to win, the team who needs that win the most times in the league, that team wins the game. You know what I'm saying? So it's a one-loss team. That ain't affect nothing that the Lions doing. They went and played a tough team. They lost. I don't think that make them overrated either.
Okay.
But the Chiefs are definitely underrated, man. It's always their dynasty is over. You hear it? You know what I'm saying? I probably heard you say it, Kinsey. The dynasty is over.
Because I'm praying for their downfall.
I understand that. You know what I'm saying? But they battling. They were battling through absent receivers. They had no receivers. They was hurt. They was suspended. They was playing top teams in the league. Man, the Lions, the Jags, the Eagles, the Chargers are all playoff teams.
They have.
They're all playoff teams. They come out of that 3-3, and their defense gets no love to me. Their defense gets zero love. They just top 10 in passing D, top 10 in scoring D. Of course, their offense is top 10 in total offense, top 10 in scoring offense. And the most important thing to me is they get a ball away the least in the NFL. They number 1 in the league in giveaways. You know what I'm saying? However, I think he got 2 interceptions or something like that. That's it. So 6th in the league, turnover differential. Man, they all those things mean that you're a great football team, and a major part of their offense is coming back. So they got through that tough road. It don't get no easier for them going forward. But now we'll see the real Chiefs offense. What they want to do, they RPOs is a run over here inside zone or a run over here. If we like that look, we throw it out to Rashid. He get us 7 yards. It's a RPO screen type situation. They try to do it now with 24 with Smith from SMU. Yeah. And they just started bringing him along the last couple games before they was trying to do it with Juju. He looked good. Yeah. But it's not Rashid Rice though. You know what I'm saying? So, man, once they can really get to their RPO, and you got to honor Rashid over here, he like a running back standing out there. Yeah. You got to put an extra guy in between. That's going to open up the run game for Pacheco and them a little bit more. You will see the real Chiefs offense once Rashid Rice returns. So
this weekend.
They definitely underrated, man. I'm telling you, they the Chiefs. You heard the announcer saying this was the most confident 2-3 team we ever. Yeah, because they know we battling. We going against top teams in the NFL without our guys. We got a makeshift offense going right now. You get our guys back. You had Kelsey Rasheed underneath, Hollywood, Worthy up top. That's a beautiful scene. I'm a Broncos fan. Only team I fear in the AFC is the Chiefs.
Ooh. I don't think it's either. Because I said last week, previewing this game, that I still think the Chiefs are going to be a Super Bowl contender. I really do. So I don't think they're underrated. I think they're as good as everybody thinks they are. And then I absolutely don't think, I agree with Aqib, that the Lions are overrated. That's a good football team. Yeah. They struggled last night, but they're still the favorites right now in the NFC to go to the Super Bowl. I believe that. I think they're going to go all the way and have a chance to win the Super Bowl. You have to give credit, though, in this game to Spags and that Chiefs defense, because when it started out, you're going up against the highest scoring offense in the NFL. You're going up against one of the best offenses when it comes to playmakers on their side of the football in the NFL. And after the first 2 drives, I thought it was going to be a long night for the Chiefs. They go 15 plays, 61 yards on an opening drive. Was it a touchdown to Goff? We'll talk about that in a second. The penalty, all of that. There's some rules, though, we'll get into. But anyways, you settle for 3. Then the next drive, you get the ball back, go 6 plays, 71 yards, and you score. Now you're up 10-6. In my mind, I'm like, all right, Goff's rolling. This offense is going well. Morton's got him going. They're going to have a big night. And then they only score one more time on 5 of their next 6 drives. They score 1 time. The other drives, they go turnover on downs, punt, 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 turnover on downs to end the game. They had a plan. They made in-game adjustments. You got to give credit to Spags. He took their key players out of the game. Ross St. Brown struggled. Jahmyr Gibbs didn't have the production that we're used to seeing him have. Jameson Williams and Laporta had a couple big plays, but he did a good job of keeping them in contain. Their next 25 plays to end that game, they had 75 yards total. That is winning football on the defensive side of the ball.
They stopped running the ball.
Yeah.
Got away from that run.
But the other thing, looking at the Chiefs, and why I say they're not underrated, is because we see this all the time with them. There's so many times in 2019, they start the year 4-0, and then they go 2-4 the next 6, and it feels like, all right, man, they're done. We're writing them off. They're struggling. They win the Super Bowl that year. Then they come back in 2021. They start off 3-4, including a 27-3 loss against Tennessee, and it's like, all right, the dynasty's over. This is it.
Every year.
Counting them out. They go all the way to the AFC Championship game, play a hell of a game against Joe Burrow. He ends up winning and going to the Super Bowl. But then in 2023, the same thing. They start 7-2, including a loss at home against the Raiders. And it was like, all right, this is it. The next week, then they go 2-4. Those following 6 games, they're done. Everyone's writing them off. They win the Super Bowl again. So if you have 15 at quarterback, you have Andy Reid as your head coach, you have the dynasty, the belief, the trust in one another that they built in Kansas City, I don't care what the record shows, it's too tough to write them off. And like I said, I don't think they're underrated. I think they're legit contenders in the AFC still.
Okay, I'll give you this about Kansas City. I liked what Chris Collinsworth said. Again, he is allowed to actually speak to the team before he does their games, as opposed to that guy for Fox. What's that guy's name?
Oh, yeah.
Thomas Jefferson.
I forget.
Jonathan Jr. Brady.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy they have to keep advertising every other commercial is a Tom Brady commercial. Like, you have to tell me how great he is as a broadcaster? Wouldn't we just see that? Yeah, that guy, right. Okay, Chris Collinsworth said that several of the insiders told him that everybody in the front office and on the coaching staff likes this team a lot more than they liked the team last year that won 15. Didn't they go 15-2? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, because they just kept winning by, I don't know what this means, skin of your teeth, but I get what it means, but they kept winning by skin of teeth last year.
Right.
Remember all the late lucky things that kept happening to the Chiefs? Yep. And by the way, they did
play calls, I would say.
Or play calls, yeah. They did have 0 penalties last night, which I don't know how you can play a whole game.
Yeah.
And there's one for sure we're going to talk about on Brandon.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
A big miss.
So I do agree. I've told you, I did pick Kansas City to win this game, and I think the guts of the team is now Spags and the defense. Mm-hmm. It's built on the rock of Spags. The offense has turned into dink and dunk to me. It is RPO right, RPO left, Kelsey, little option routes underneath, and if he's singled and he gets a little step, half step on somebody, he flips it to Kelsey. But look, they had Tyquan Thornton emerge as kind of their deep threat in those earlier games. He got no targets and no catches last night because it's all dink and dunk, right? Even Juju got loose early for 30 yards, but it was a catch and run for 30 yards. They don't throw it up the field the way they used to. They're ball control. They're a little of this and a little of that and a little of this. Okay, now we're going to get to Detroit. I said this before, and I'm going to say it again. I'm not saying they're wildly overrated, but they are overrated when you look at what they've done. They got blown off the field at Green Bay. I give you that. That was Micah Day, and the stadium went berserk. But then they beat the Bears. They blew out the Bears. Yeah. Okay, fine. And then they go to Baltimore, and I was impressed the next day when I sat here after that. Was it a Monday night game? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was Monday night, right? And yet now I look at what's left of Baltimore, and I'm not as impressed as I was.
Not impressed at all.
Yeah, well, maybe at all, yeah. And then they beat the Browns 34-10. Okay, I give you that at home. And then they beat what's left of the Bengals without Burrow. Okay, I can't get real excited about any of that, but I do respect them because they usually come to play and they play physical football for that head coach. Last night, they got their asses kicked. That's what the home team, the Chiefs, were so much more physical to me than the Lions were, and then it culminated with Kareem Hunt just trucked that Rock Yassin at the end. He just trucked him, and again, little DB, I got it, but he got smoked. He got left on the ground where he was a little woozy trying to get up, and that's what kept happening all night to my eye, is that Kansas City was just the more physical football team. They were the quicker. They just beat them to the spot time and time again, especially defense versus offense. So I thought Detroit was supposed to be on this historic offensive pace, and I don't see a historic offense. I don't see the St. Louis Rams, Kurt Warner. I don't see that.
I don't know if it's that, but
yeah.
They did get a touchdown taken away from them. That's a momentum killer. You know what I'm saying? If you score that, come out the gate, 7-8 minute drive,
okay, all right.
Touchdown. Like the game, it might flow a little bit different.
Hey, do we want to go ahead and talk about that?
I do want to. I have it here because I want to watch it because
all
obviously, Skip, you know the rules probably better than anybody. How is this taken away?
You want to take it, Cody, or I'm sure you've broken it down.
So basically, what they're saying is the fact that he showed that he was under center.
Right. Under center.
Yeah.
And
that's the rule.
Out.
But I think
it's the rule. It is the rule.
But you have to step back and get set as a back.
But he wasn't. He never went under center, in my opinion.
I think the tap, though, when he tapped his hand and he established himself right behind the center, is what the refs were saying. Or you have to come to a complete stop.
You have to stop.
When you motion, yes.
It's a reset.
So because he kept going. Okay.
Yeah.
See, but under center to me is under center. Now, if I come up, now I gotta stop. Then motion, but if I never went under center, I could do this all I want. You know what I'm saying? I could stand right here behind the center.
The back counts his hands.
So you know how that's what the Lions do. They try to bend the rules. They try to get they the trick play kings.
Yeah.
They try to bend the rules just enough, and I thought they bent him just enough. He ain't go under center, so he didn't have to get set. He didn't have to. He could just motion out. You could snap the ball. You know what I'm saying? Because he never went
called
under
that
center.
back. You think?
I think it was a good play. I think the referee screwed it up.
You would have called it back.
No, I wouldn't have called it back.
Okay.
I think
the referee screwed the play
up.
up.
I'm telling you why I think they called it. And they didn't call it in real time. They had to remember they went back after the play, discussed for a while, and then
it was not reviewable or
they decided
nothing
to make the call. So
that's
but the rules expert on NBC, boom.
Yeah, he was on it.
because that's his job. His job is to protect the NFL. What them refs call, I probably heard him disagree with the call on the field 7% of the time. It's like clear as day, bro. Oh yeah, that was a pass interference. Like, bro, no, it wasn't. Like, you know what I'm saying, you just gotta protect the refs. That's why they put you on TV.
That wasn't a judgment call. This is just simply the rule is the rule.
Yeah.
You have to step back and reset as a back.
If you go, but before that part, you got to go under center.
Okay.
So me just standing right here doing like this, that's not under center. I'm not under center.
I know, but technically they're just going to call it.
I don't think they're saying under center, though. They're calling it the type of formation you're in where you're directly behind the center. They viewed him as under center in that sense. I'm not speaking for them. I'm just telling you that's where I think the penalty came into play. And then when he motioned out, he never got set again and reestablished himself. So that's why they called it. I don't like it, but I think to eliminate all of the confusion, what they should have done is just ran this play out of shotgun. Or ran it out of pistol to where you tighten down David Montgomery. You're getting pistol to where you're 3 to 4 yards, acting like you're in pistol formation, just to eliminate any confusion if I'm going into this, hindsight's 2020. But if I'm running this play, I'm putting Goff at about 3 to 4 yards, looking like I'm in pistol, put Montgomery at about 6, 5.5, 6, act like I'm calling a play, then motion out. They're thinking, all right, Wildcat, you still get the same type of play. It's still a forward pass. You don't worry about a fumble or any of that.
They're not running the play to eliminate confusion. They're running the play to create confusion.
I'm saying eliminate confusion for the refs, not for the defense. It's still confusion.
What they thinking about the defense? They know the rule. We got to get under center. If we get under center, now we got to come up from under center, get set, then motion. Okay, well, we just not going to go under center. We're going to just stand there. So, boom, the refs is out of it. The rules say this. If a quarterback goes under center, he has to get established and then go in motion. Mm-hmm. Well, we just not going to go up under center. Don't go under center. Just stand there, stand right behind it.
Yeah.
So what they need to do is define what the fuck under center is. Then there won't be no gray area. Right now it's gray. Am I under center? Am I not? I'm just standing here. I never went under center, so.
And you think that play was a momentum killer and could have changed the game?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I agree.
They might score 30. It might be a 30-30 overtime game if you come out like that.
And
now you see, it kind of deflated. Like, we got an 8-minute drive, got fucking 3 points out that shit. Like, it was kind of deflating for that offense. You know
it is a momentum builder. When you go on the road and you get the ball first and you drive down and score, I mean, that stadium goes quiet.
Definitely.
The defense felt like they got to stop.
Yeah, if you settle for 3,
the defense felt like they got to stop. Good shit, y'all boys. Yeah. That's the number one offense in the world. We came and held them to a field goal on their first 15.
Yeah.
Good shit, y'all boys. Like, that's not momentum killing for us.
And my point going back to that is, if you're the Lions, if you're Johnny Morton, if you're Campbell, if you're Goff, why even give the refs an opportunity? I know we're not saying he's under center. He didn't put both hands under there. But just go, even if you want to keep back to about a yard or two.
What you're saying?
Go ahead, Skip.
The question is, do you think Jared Goff and company, Johnny Morton, do you think they knew the rule? Because I'm not sure they did.
They did.
I'm not sure.
Because he said, no. You can read his lips. He said, no, I ain't going to center. That's the first thing you could read his whole mouth.
Could you?
You could read Jared Goff home. He said, no. Like, they know the rules.
Yeah.
They know the rules.
In a post-conference, he said that. I didn't go under.
If they didn't know the rules, he might have went under and then motion. Like, he just went and kind of just stood there. He kind of, it was like.
To your point, he was still complaining because Dan Campbell wanted to go for it from the 6.
And they got to delay the game.
And they got to delay because he's over there still arguing. And then Dan Campbell had to just throw up his hands and say, okay.
He got back. It was like 9 seconds left. He was like, bro, I can't even run this fucking play.
Yeah.
Like, it's over with now. Like, I can't.
But you're saying why he was arguing is because he thought he was right.
Because he knew he was right. He was like, bro, all right, how can we run this play?
But you can't review it, so.
If you come from under center, you got to get set. Then you got to go in motion. Then you got to get set. Like, all right, well, let's just not go into center. Just kind of stand there.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I'm saying, though. Like, eliminate the confusion for the refs. Walk up, get like 1 or 2 yards behind the center. We do it all the time where you get up, hey.
So what's the difference, though?
Mike's 54. The fact that he got close enough to tap his center under the on the butt.
So I mean, but I ain't never get behind the center. If I'm in pistol at 2 yards and I'm standing right behind him, what's the difference?
It's okay. It's a big difference.
That is not under center. It's a big difference.
Man, when I'm drawing that play, this is the last thing that I think is going to happen. The ref's going to say that I was under center and I'm just standing here. I didn't even bend my fucking knees. How am I under center? I'm not. You know what I'm saying? So
I don't
like. At what point do we do it? If I stand right here behind the center, I'm under center. Okay, well if I take a little half a step back, I'm still under. Another half a step back, I'm still under. Like where we draw that line at? That's bullshit. If the rules say under center, then that's the fucking rule. He got to go under center, and if you come from under center, now you got to get set and do all that extra shit. So.
But there was that.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, I think, and I don't disagree.
So what's the distance?
Or Aqib, I hate that they called the penalty. That was a hell of a play. It was a great design. It was a hell of a catch by Goff, too.
And they
bounced, he got it.
Wait a second.
And they read it perfectly.
Was it a hell of a catch? Because he bobbles it.
He did.
It goes off the DB.
Amara St. Brown.
That could have been bad. Could have been bad.
Made that play work
Because
by
he's
hitting up
blocking.
this
He's
boy,
blocking.
pancaking his ass.
Okay.
That's why I love St. Brown.
Hey, catch is a catch.
He make St. Brown make the play work.
A catch is a catch.
He
St. Brown
bobbles it forwards, and it goes off the DB. It come back to him. He got the carom off the DB.
He had a dog lead blocker out there in front of him.
Hey, I've seen a lesser athlete drop that. I'm giving it to my guy Goff on that. That was a great catch.
Well, I mean, obviously that, and then so much more in the game. There was a lot of drama after the game. I want to watch this because this fight was crazy.
Look, Branch had them hands.
Yeah, they're
he already
like-
knew what time it was.
And then Juju looked at him at the last second when he was chirping.
Oh, then he wanted to come get back. Get your ass. Come here. Come here. And then they lucky all them people bottled it up because he probably got 2 socks in under there. Bam, bam. He got touched in the midst of that crowd. He got that face touched a couple times for sure.
You think Juju got hit underneath?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Oh, yeah. He had,
His face was messed up.
It messed up at the bridge of his nose. I thought maybe he got him where the face mask.
Yeah, he probably did, but
yeah.
Trust me, Skip. I've been in a few skirmishes like that.
Yeah.
Just a few. You've been in a couple.
He got touched.
I'm sure you've given
He got
as well as you've gotten, right?
He for sure got touched in that foul, for sure.
Okay, so on air, they said on air that Branch has been fined 3 times for fighting just this year. It's been 6 games.
Yeah.
50% chance in the games that Branch is going to be throwing hands. That's crazy.
Right. That's my strong safety.
And 7 times last year, okay? But Mahomes, I don't know if you guys saw that clip. After the rushing touchdown, he actually celebrated and pointed at Branch, taunting him.
He did.
So, Aqib, you love a good scrumble, right? You love it. Aqib, who was most in the wrong for the Lions Chief post-game fight?
My strong safety was wrong.
Okay, there we go.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. If my strong safety get in a squabble every other game, I'm cool with that. Like Wade used to tell us I don't want to.
You're fine with 7 in the year?
Wade used to tell us, hey, we better get 2 15s today. We had a 215 minimum on that 2015. Like we better get 2 15s. Attitude, don't do nothing stupid. But if it's an attitude play that come up, we need that.
I'm with you.
Whether it was me or TJ Ward, that was my strong safety. Malik Jackson, Danny Trevathan, we had our 15-yard guys. Like, we going to get our 15s just for Wade. We need that. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, that's Branch's role on the team, man. Hey, he the squabbler. Juju doing too much talking. He didn't know it was going to end like that. Hey, it is what it is, man. So he had to pay for it.
You don't think he's going to get benched? Fine?
Nah, he going to get fined for sure.
Yeah.
He going to touch his pockets. But, I mean, hey, he making it right now. You know what I'm saying? He'll be all right.
Yeah, so I agree. Branch is in the wrong.
Yeah.
You can't do that, especially post-game. You can't do it. The game's over. I mean, you can chirp, but just walk away. We don't need you getting a fine, and more importantly, we don't need you getting suspended. So I'm hoping that it doesn't come to that, to where they suspend him. But I do agree with Aqib because he was provoked, and this was instigated, and this goes back into not only the Patrick Mahomes play, but if you go back in the fourth quarter with 3.5 minutes left to go in the game, you can see Branch come down and run support. The Chiefs run the ball to the right, but he comes down and run support on the backside. And as a receiver at that X position, Juju, he's taught to block MDM, which is most dangerous man. Well, your most dangerous man is the corner. He neglected the corner and went straight for Branch, and Branch turned his shoulder to go make the backside, to make the play on the backside. I don't even think he would have made the play, and Juju shoved him right in the back. And then not only did he do that, he stepped over him afterwards like AI, walked over him, and then Branch saw that, he got up and started chirping. So that had just happened less than 10 minutes in real time, 3 minutes in game time. So they knew that happened, and then you get to the end of the game, takes a knee. I love Juju. I went to USC with him. He's one of my really good friends. He went out bad on that play. He did not win that fight, so I don't like that for him. But you can tell as soon as Pat took that knee Juju looked to his own sideline and said, let's go. But then at the last second, as Branch was walking up, he turned to him and said something else.
He did.
And I think Branch already had on his mind, I'm going to go take action. And then that last little bit that Juju did, that turned into him open fist punching him in the face.
Yeah.
And then Juju, man, he flopped. I don't know why he flopped and then got up.
At that.
Just stay flopped. Just stay
leave it at that.
on my head. Stay flop, get the 50. Or
he did the hold me back.
Yeah.
Hold me back, man. Hold me back.
And then
be for real. You would not stay flopped. You'd be so mad.
Juju,
I'm not saying
I'm the Brian Branch of the situation.
Yeah.
I'm not the Juju of the situation.
You would have never got flopped.
But with that all being said, like I get it. I get why he did it. And
he shouldn't have did it post game.
No, he should have done it post game.
Just leave it alone post game. You should have. Right when he hit you in your back, you should have got up and did it right there in the game. Yeah.
But he said post game too. The thing that pissed him off the most was like, all right. Took the cheap shot, hit me in the back, but I'm not even getting a penalty for that. I'm not even getting a block in the back. You guys are doing nothing. Then he steps over me, and there's so much emphasis on taunting.
Yeah.
You're not doing shit either to protect me.
That's because the play went this way, and they ain't really even paying attention to something that had nothing to do with the play.
Yeah, but you got multiple referees. They got to keep their eyes on it.
But get that flag in the game. That's all I say to my strong safety, bro. They can handle that shit right there.
Yeah.
What we waiting after the game for? He hit you in your back, get up and sock him out right there. You know what I'm saying? What we waiting for?
Well, he was keeping his cool until the last Juju comment.
Now, you make it worse when you do it after the game. You know what I'm saying? You make it a big deal. If you would have got hit, got up, hit him in his shit, then everybody be like, look, he did a dirty play, he got up and hit him. They might not even find your ass for it. You know what I'm saying? So you just earned $100,000 or so,
Okay. I'm not the biggest Mahomes fan either.
Love you, Skip.
And I hear everything you just said, but Patrick Mahomes provoked this. Patrick Mahomes is not without blame here because as Brian Branch is walking, Mahomes is going to rub it in. He's going to go shake his hand.
He can shake his hand.
He extends his hand, and it's clear Brian Branch wants no part of it. And Mahomes reaches and says, you are not going to let me, I'm Patrick freaking Mahomes, you're not going to leave me hanging here. I'm going to reach out, and I'm going to grab your hand whether you like it or not, and I'm going to shake your hand. You can't do it. You beat him fair and square. I got it. But you did taunt him, and you should have been thrown a 15-yard flag for that because that was excessive celebration. Mm-hmm. That was taunting. I see less taunts get thrown 15-yard flags for.
100%.
And you can't, you're just rubbing it in. You're antagonizing and you're provoking him because you know he's not happy with you or your wideout. And I think that the initial provocation was that Juju was mad that he wouldn't shake his hand. That was the first thing that happened. And Juju said something about that, which then it just went up in smoke. And speaking of smoke, he got smoked because Brian Branch does not mess around.
Nah, he don't.
Yeah,
but I think Patrick Mahomes, he entitled. He scored a touchdown. He did this boom.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, but if you reach for somebody's hand and they're not going to shake it, just let it go. Pull your hand back, but let it go.
You reach for his hand, he don't shake it, man. You all right, brother. You could cool. You could touch him. Like, come on.
And you won. Like, you won the game.
You won the game,
right,
bro.
good.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, but you're rubbing it in.
Baby.
You are rubbing in your win.
I don't think Mahomes trying to shake his hand is what he was worried about in that moment. It looked like Branch had one person in mind. Juju Smith-Schuster.
That's probably why he didn't shake Mahomes' hand.
He was blacked out.
On his mind.
Yeah, he was like, I don't care about
lasered in.
I don't agree with the post game. I thought he should have handled it right there. He knocked you on the ground. He could have got up, got at him right there.
Do you think though that he didn't want to do that because he didn't want to hurt his team and get a 15-yarder in the game at that point? And just all right, I'll see you after the game, and then we'll handle this because I know I can't get a penalty now. I'll take the fine and call it a day.
Branch thought that Juju hit him a little late after the whistle. That's what he said after the game.
I thought he thought it was a block in the back.
He did. Because he said it was a block in the back.
Yeah.
And people were arguing it was his shoulder. That was a block in the back. He turned. He hit him right there. He fell forward. That's a block in the back. But what pissed him off the most is he said, no one's protecting me out here. They've got 0 penalties all day and stuff like this is happening. Like, come on, man. Like, what do you want me to do? You want me to retaliate? Then I'll get a 15-yarder.
Yeah.
You got to protect him in that moment. And then he steps over him, and you don't call that either. Now, I don't know if they saw it, but yeah, I get it. Like, you have to be better in that situation. But
you do it right then. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And if you're worried about getting a flag, now you're worried about getting the FedEx in your locker Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? So it don't make no sense to me.
Brian Branch said after the game, I'm tired of people doing stuff in between the play and the refs don't catch it.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's what it was
in between the play.
Yep.
But to his credit, he stood up to the media. He didn't duck, and he said over and over again, it was a childish thing that I did.
Right.
And Dan Campbell apologized, which surprised me a bit, even though as an organization, they want to put forward this front of we do it the right way, we do it class, you know, they do. I give you that. But Wade wouldn't apologize. Like Wade's the DC, but not the head coach. He was a head coach, but in your case, he was just your coordinator.
Nah.
But after
Bill
the
wouldn't
game,
apologize neither.
I don't think he would have. I was a little surprised that Dan Campbell apologized. You just say, I need to look at the film. You know, I need
He's
to
just trying to
look
save his pockets a little bit.
Maybe.
And heat of the moment, man. Branch is a good guy. He's just trying to help him out a little bit.
Well, he did say, I love Brian Branch. And I don't know how you couldn't love him because he can flat play.
Man, he's a dog, man.
He's Pro Bowl.
I think that's also, though, Dan Campbell just being authentic. Like, that's who he is. Like, he's going to get up there with authenticity and be like, hey, I apologize. He's not sitting there thinking, how can I handle this
he really
a certain way. He's like, hey, that's on me. That's my bad. We got our ass kicked tonight. Unacceptable. I love him. We'll talk about it. We'll get it fixed going forward, and let's put it behind us. Like,
I don't think
like
he was
when a
being
leader does
authentic because I think really deep down in Dan Campbell, he hit my dog in his back. He should have socked him in his fucking mouth.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? That's really
I think that's what he wanted to say?
Yeah, that's how he wanted to say. But he like, man, I'm going to save his pockets a little bit. I'm going to apologize for him just so the league know we as a team, we're sorry about that shit that happened on TV.
Yeah.
So he had to just be the leader. And, man, we ain't mean all that. But he probably went in the locker room like, hey, bro, do that shit on the field next time.
I don't doubt that.
Might hit you in your back, fuck him up right there.
I don't doubt
if we lose for the 15 yards, then it's on me.
I 100% agree with that. I don't think he's going to discipline Branch for a second.
Nah,
but I do think he wanted to say, hey, like, our football team, not only are we physical, we're tough, but we're also disciplined. Like, I don't want that to become something that our identity going forward, but, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he did say that to protect him.
Does it surprise you the way it does me that Dan Campbell, whose original press conference, he's going to bite kneecaps off.
Right.
That every time they're in the red zone, every time it's 1st and goal inside the 5, they are going to trick your ass. That's how they play football. They trick you. Andy Reid tricks you every time.
Right.
He's finesse. Their teams aren't physical. Spags defenses, but the offense has always been a finesse offense.
Yeah.
It is what it is to me. To me, that on Friday, if you were just going to line up and try to run the ball down our throat and do play action, our Friday is as easy as shit. You know what I'm saying? So if you come with all these trick plays and do all this, we want to go home at 12:30 on Friday. It's fucking 1:30. We still on the field going through all 14 of y'all trick plays. So it just gives an extra added element that the defense got to prepare for.
Okay.
So to me, it's genius. Honestly, it's
okay. Then how easy is your Friday when you're getting ready to play these Philadelphia Eagles?
It's a breeze.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's a breeze.
And you can't stop it.
Yeah.
You can't stop it. Right?
Talking about the tush push?
Yeah.
Yeah. So. I mean, the Lions do their fair share of lining up, giving it to Montgomery and running it straight to you, you know what I'm saying? So,
but remember the game at Dallas, it was a couple of years ago, where they're sending in offensive linemen and one of them doesn't check in. They're just trying to trick you. It's like borderline cheating. It's like we're gonna play loose, fast and loose.
Yeah, borderline.
Right?
Yeah,
borderline cheating. Okay. They go early.
Yeah,
they got a borderline cheat. They do it so fast you can't even see it with the blind eye. But if we put this shit in slow mo, both guards go first. He snap it off the guards almost. You know what I'm saying? So it's hey man, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. So make it a little difficult for us on defense.
And to your point on that, Skip, you don't do those trick plays or those gadget plays if you don't have the playmakers to do it. If you just have one guy on the field that the defense has to worry about, we're not tricking anybody. But when you have J-Mo and you have Amon-Ra St. Brown and you have Montgomery and you have Jahmyr Gibbs and you have Laporta, you can do so many different things as an offensive coordinator where the defense can't key on one guy. And like they did against Baltimore when they snapped it, handed it to Amon-Ra and he pitched it to Jahmyr. I mean, who do you focus on that play? And then you got a quarterback like Goff who's so efficient that they could just fake all this, bluff it, and then have him throw a pass in the back of the end zone or throw it to a tackle. So
I'm more talking about
when you have that.
I got that.
I don't think that make you soft though at all.
But you're sneaking in an offensive lineman so you can throw it to him.
I don't think that make you soft.
Eligible or
no, that was but you got to report. That was. I guarantee you, he was coached up on that. That's a mistake on the player's part. You're as a player taught.
I think it was the guy who was playing last night. Ben Skipper had to play.
Skipper, yeah, it was. I think we crossed paths. I think too for a couple times. But
really,
you have to know, and I've been in games where we bring in an extra offensive lineman that is eligible. Yeah. You have to every time. Hey, report.
Sure.
If you don't get confirmation from that ref, your ass is coming right back out of the game, and you're costing us a penalty. So I don't think that was them trying to be cheap or or get a quick
to
one.
answer your
That was
question,
just a
Skip,
bad-
I don't think that make them soft. I think that make them genius. That's why every time they do one of these trick plays, it work. Because they a big physical team. You think they're going to run it. They fake it here. Whoop, whoop, do this. Throw something in the back of the end zone. He wide open. So it's genius to me.
Well, Andy's always got a trick up his sleeve, right?
Yeah.
And so to your point, to start this discussion, if you out-trick Andy and score 7 off a trick play, off a gadget play, whatever you want to call it, then it's advantage you because you went into his house and you outdid him with a play they didn't see coming, right? So on the pass play to Goff.
Field goals is huge, man. As a defense, you stop a big-time offense at key points of the game, huge. Right after halftime, right at the beginning of the game, end of the fourth quarter. Man, them 7 and 3, the difference between that, it's almost like it's a win for the defense.
It is.
So
I agree.
That momentum got deflated right there, and I feel like that was a early but a real turning point for that game.
And you did pick the Lions to win the NFC, as I recall.
Yeah, I think they still will.
Okay.
Yeah, I did too.
All right, let's move on. So, Aqib, you've always been a Baker hater, and I think I've joined that club. I'm going to buy shirts that say we hate Baker. I'm just kidding. I got to give it to him. But
Thank you.
He beat my backup quarterback in the shell of a Niners, so we'll see. But I guess I'll give it to him a little bit. He did escape a sack, rushed for 15 yards on that 3rd down. I mean, that's pretty clutch. And he hit Tez Johnson with a 45-yard touchdown. I mean, as much as I was hating him,
it might have been a better catch than a throw, but it was a dot.
I think I finally believe that Baker might be the clutchest quarterback. But, Skip, is Baker Mayfield running away with the MVP?
He is. And
Okay.
the weird thing about yesterday was, as Baker said on the field right after the game, I was asleep in the first quarter. And he was, because he had 2 throws in the first quarter to Ibuka, who's the offensive rookie of the year
Wide
so far.
open, too.
Just wide open throws, and he just missed him. One time he had a rusher in his face, but it's not vintage Baker. It's just not what we've come to expect. And I'm like, man, I'm tweeting, just snap out of it. Lock in, let's go. Because the game was shaping up to be Niners at Rams on Thursday night, because it had the feeling of that kind of game where they were going to ugly it up and trick it up and whatever. Mac Jones was going to suck it up and guts it up and make a throw here or there, and they were just going to somehow pull it off, even though, unfortunately, they lost Fred Warner. And it was just horrendous. I just can't even I can't even watch it. And he's such a warrior. He's just such a great player. But they don't quit for Kyle, man. They fight. And they were fighting harder after they lost Fred Warner. So then it's announced mid-3rd quarter that Ibuka has pulled his hamstring. So there's no Mike Evans, there's no Chris Godwin, there's no Ibuka, and there's no Bucky Irving. And I'm saying this is big trouble for Baker and company. And immediately after the announcement on TV, it's 3rd and 14 at his 41, and Jim Nantz actually calls it in real time a sack.
Yeah.
He's going down. I don't remember exactly how I said it, but
I was like, he got sacked. He's sacked again.
Sacked. And Lil Baker, who's sneaky athletic, Big Will, he ducks under 2 rushers who have him dead to rights, and he escapes.
That was clutch.
And you want to talk about clutch, but he's not through yet. And he pump fakes one guy off his feet, and then he dekes another guy. And now there are 2 49ers 3 yards short of the sticks, and he wheels himself. He goes airborne and splits them, and then goes left-handed. He's right-handed quarterback, obviously. Left-handed extension just past the sticks. And they said the stadium shook from the noise, because you want to talk about one play. It was the play of the year that I've seen. I know we're only 6 games in, but it was the play of the year that I've seen.
Yeah.
I'm out of my seat. I'm out of my mind. And they said that the whole Tampa Bay nation just shook. You could just feel the whole stadium. And then one play later, he's forced to throw to a 7th-round rookie out of Oregon who weighed 154 pounds at the combine. That was his combine weight, 154. That's about record small to me.
That's tiny.
And he breaks his route on the play because he's supposed to cut it off and cross. And Tez Johnson sees that I've got I've got a split here. I'm just going to go and hope that Baker sees it too. And Baker gives a big exaggerated pump fake to the safety to hold him, and then dot. It's a gunshot. Boom. And he caught the back end of the football with his fingertips, so it's probably a better catch than a throw, but it was a really good throw.
It was.
And it's a game breaker. Those two plays broke that game and broke San Francisco's will and back. So weirdly, I was more impressed with him pulling that off than I even was with the 4 last-minute come from back behind victories where he clutched up 4 times to win 4 games. That one, because I'm looking at the final stats, his leading receivers for the game were Cam Johnson, Sterling Shepard. Cam Johnson, by the way, was undrafted out of some place called Barton. No offense to Barton, but I don't know where it is. And Sterling Shepard's 32 years of age, playing on a $2 million deal. And Cade Otton is a former 4th-round pick, and then Tez Johnson, 7th-round rookie. So that's what he has to work with, and you pulled that off against what was still a dangerous team, albeit in your house. That's runaway MVP to me. I was impressed.
I was impressed too, Skip.
But
I was more than impressed, man. You ain't got nobody to throw the ball to.
Yeah.
You come out with another great 3rd down, a dot immediately after that. And like you said, it electrified Tampa.
It just did.
Yeah.
The whole Tampa believe in him right now.
And you know how that, you know that community. You know.
Yeah, I know how I feel. When you get them, when them cannons, when he scored that touchdown, they boom, boom. They let them cannons off, man. It's real out there. So it was I guarantee it was an electric atmosphere. But you can't run away with the MVP in week 6. I don't care if you had 6 comebacks in 6 weeks. He got 5, right? 5 or 4, Skip. How many?
4. It's 4. Yeah.
4 comebacks in 6 weeks. You just can't run away with it through 6 weeks. You know what I'm saying? It's better.
Well, would you give him a significant lead through 6 weeks?
He the front runner for sure. Somebody got to be the front runner. And I will say Baker is by far the front runner.
All right. I'll take that from you.
If you running away with it mean like, it don't matter what happened from here, he probably going to win it. Like, hell nah. He could have 2 bad games, and this could happen. Like, Daniel Jones had a 3-touchdown come from behind win.
He did?
He got a 1-loss team. And his QBR is higher than Baker's.
Yep.
Like, QBR, right?
QBR?
Mm-hmm.
His QBR is higher than Baker's. Dak went off again. You know what I'm saying? The Cowboys could score 40 every game, and how Dak playing, if they go to the playoffs, he the MVP. He had a 250-yard, 3-touchdown game. His QBR is higher than Baker's.
You got to go to the playoffs.
I'm just saying, if they storm out and win all the rest of their games and go to the playoffs, is Dak not the MVP?
Yeah.
Like, at week 6, it's a whole bunch of ifs that can happen.
No, I understand.
That's my point. Shit, Jonathan Taylor had 123 yards and another touchdown. If they have one loss at the end of the year, I might have to give it to Jonathan Taylor because he fucking balling. They had a comeback win, and he was a major. Their last drive was fucking all runs. Like, who has a comeback drive and it's all Jonathan Taylor? Like, he toted the ball every fucking play on the game-winning drive.
Okay.
So he had a game-winning drive as a running back. It's unheard of.
Was he your MVP now?
I mean, he ain't the front runner, but he a candidate in my opinion. He a candidate. Shit, Josh Allen played tonight. He don't do nothing but drop 30 points a game. Josh Allen is 1 4-touchdown game away, 2 rushing, 2 passing, from us crowning him the MVP again. You know what I'm saying? That's what he do. He might not lead you in touchdown passes, but he going to have 22 touchdown runs and 22 touchdowns passing and have 40 on the year. That's what make him the MVP. So he 1 game away from us putting him up there with Baker. You know what I'm saying? Shit. And to be honest, we got to start putting Patty in the convo, do we not? He got no wide outs. Shit. He got 11 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 4 rushing touchdowns as a quarterback. And guess what, Skip? His QBR is higher than Baker's.
Yeah, because he's the dink and dunk king.
Well, I mean, the QBR don't count dink and dunks, do they?
It does.
I just told you. QBR ain't count dink and dunks.
It takes into account dink and dunks. It takes into account
how much you have to your team's success.
You're right.
Right?
No, I'm not disagreeing with you.
All 3 of those guys I just named, how much they do according to their team success is higher than Baker's. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think you can run away with it to about week 13, week 14.
Okay.
Through 6 games,
That's fair.
Bro, you 2 bad games away. You 2 pick games away from us putting you as cocky and the same shit we used to have you as in the past. You know what I'm saying? So, front runner, hell yeah.
Okay,
I'm
real quick before you go on QBR. There is human element involved in concocting it, into deciphering what your QBR is. It's just that there are guys in Bristol, Connecticut who are sitting down and trying to follow a formula. But
so it ain't
I'm telling you, there's Baker hate out there because his QBR astounds me week after week.
So now
I
we
look
talking
at
about
it.
Baylor. We talking about Baker. Now QBR ain't that important no more.
No, they screw him in QBR.
Like we can make a clip. Can we make a reel of QBR and
trust
how many
me.
times QBR come out, skip him out?
Okay, all right.
Like, but now it's not important no more when we talk about Baker.
He's still top 10.
Like, that's crazy.
Okay, I have said this
He is
publicly.
top 10. He's not in front of Dak.
Okay,
He's not in front of John. He's not in front of
I understand.
Daniel Jones, and he's not in front of Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, Dak had a 90 yesterday, which was higher than Baker's. Dak failed on the last 2 series, bless you. I don't know how you could give him a 90 because he failed. They had the ball twice late in the game, and it went nowhere fast. They had a 1st and goal at the 8, and then they got the defense finally held, and they got the ball back, and they went backwards and wound up with a 4th and 16.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't love that, so I'm going to dock him a little bit in my QBR, and you're not going to have a 90 for the game.
Because he was 100 before that.
Yeah, I was about to say, because they're not in that game if it's not for
Okay,
exactly.
all right.
100
That's
before
why.
that.
Okay, trust me on this. I've said it publicly many times. I'll get the clips for you. I've said it on television. I've said it on videos. People in Bristol hate Baker Mayfield. There's Baker hate everywhere. Deep down in your heart of hearts, you don't love the guy because you think he is what his GM called him. He's a 10 on the prick scale.
That's not why I don't love him, though.
Okay.
I don't love him because what year is this for him?
He hasn't gone to the playoffs and won. That's why you don't love him.
That's it.
Well, he's won 2 big playoff games.
Daniel Jones won a big playoff game. I don't love him neither.
All right.
I'm just, I don't know.
Cody, is Baker running away with MVP? I need your opinion.
I'm down the middle. He's not running away. You can't run away with it in week 6. I agree.
Yeah.
You can't run away with it. There's still too much football left to be played. But there's no doubt right now that Baker Mayfield is the MVP of the NFL. Besides maybe Dak, you can make a case. No one in the NFL means more to their football team, that is more valuable to their football team right now than Baker Mayfield is to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah.
You don't have Mike Evans. Chris Godwin's been in and out of the lineup. He tried to go a week ago. Didn't look good, so he's been out.
And that scares me. Something might be really wrong.
Yeah, and that
he had a fibula injury.
I don't like that they rushed that back, too. It feels like that could be something going forward.
Yep.
But then you don't have Bucky Irving the last 2 weeks, and now we don't. And hamstrings, Ibuka, that could flare up on and off throughout the year. So you don't know what's going to happen. But with all that being said, and he's lost some offensive linemen early in the season.
He did.
With all that being said, they're still 5-1. And he's led 4 fourth-quarter comebacks. He is doing it regardless who's on the field. There are 2 types of quarterbacks in the NFL. There's 2 types of quarterbacks in the world. There's guys that are elevated because of the players around them and the scheme that they're in. And then there's guys like Baker Mayfield who elevate everyone else around them, and they make the guys around them better. And they play to a higher level because your quarterback is that guy. And right now, Baker Mayfield is him.
That guy.
He really is. He's 4th in passing yards. He's 3rd in passing touchdowns. He's 9th right now in QBR. And I know you have to take into account the situation they're in, and sometimes he has help around him. I get that. But still being top 10 in QBR and leading 4 fourth-quarter comebacks is good enough for me in the MVP. I don't care who's ahead of him right now. And I said Daniel Jones last week, talking about QBR, was important because I think he's the dark horse this year. But right now, I have Baker Mayfield at 1. I mean, just anytime you have a guy like that on the field, the intangibles are great when it comes to the physical side of things. He can make all the throws. I think this is the best he's ever looked with his pocket presence, too. The way that he's going through progression. And Gridiron, you got to give him credit. Their offensive coordinator, this is his first year, and they have just hit the ground running. They're playing well together, starting right, stepping up, finding Sterling Shepard over the middle, not afraid to push the ball down the field. He's just doing it all right now. But can he keep it up? That's the biggest question. And can he do it on the biggest stage when he gets to the playoffs?
That's the biggest question.
From what I've seen right now, though, Aqib, I think he can. Although there's not enough proof to say that he can. What do you always say, Skip? He's the most efficient quarterback in the playoffs in the history of ever, right?
On passer rating. He has the highest passer rating in 5 playoff games in the history of the playoffs.
And you want to see
don't have the best
but you want to see it translate to wins.
Passer rating this time.
I get both of your points. I am saying right now, I think this is the year that he gets it done. I have the Lions winning the NFC, but I believe that Baker and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to be right there.
Okay, you know what's going to happen? They're going to have 2 home games to get to the Super Bowl. That's the route there. That's the path they're on.
Right now they are.
They are.
They're
looking at 13-4, and they're going to have the 1 seed.
Hey, man.
Do you know who thought MVP? Let's show a clip, though, because he thought for a second it could have been him.
Baker Mayfield threw you the ball. I said, what did I do? I'm like, bro, I didn't do nothing this season. And they told my MVP. I'm going to tell y'all a funny story. This is crazy. When I score and I hit MVP chant, I'm thinking they talking about me. So I asked Shep. I'm like, Shep, they was chanting MVP? Yeah. And he was like, yeah. I was like, I ain't do nothing this year. And then he was like, they talking about Baker, Ted. Baker Mayfield threw you the ball. Oh, I thought they told me. I was like, I didn't do a damn thing. And I was like, well, that explains it. But he is the MVP. I was just happy with you. But you know what? Now I am mad at you. But look though. Mike said, when they was chanting, I said, MVP. What have I done? I said, what did I do? I was start praising it. Man, you know I'm slow sometimes, bro. I'm like, bro, I didn't do nothing this season. And they told my MVP, Shaq gonna talk about, now I was just messing with you. Now you go back to the old. Now you go back to the old 10. Hey, now you about to start going crazy. All you needed was a little bit of confidence. Now you finna go digital. You hear me? I promise you.
Well, Tez, that flip
And
with the
by the
180,
way, you
that
know
was
who he is, right?
Tez, he that 152
No,
kid.
he's Bo Nix's adoptive brother. They adopted him in high school.
And don't
Oh, no way, I
start
didn't know
with
that.
He did not believe
Even
Baker
Tez
was
don't
MVP.
think he'd
He just caught his first ever touchdown pass. He did a damn double backflip
Yeah, it
twist.
was
He's discombobulated. He thought he was feeling
That
himself.
was a badass half twist, though.
That was, you know how hard that is?
Yeah, no,
it's hard.
knows. But to that play,
Can you do that?
Skip did it the
I could do
opposite
that,
way, though,
but
right?
that was tough.
Like,
in
usually
pads, I couldn't do that.
Like usually you do that and you turn this way. Like he did it and turned the other way.
Other way.
Like,
But he rounded it off, right? Didn't he do it?
it's like a half
Yeah,
twist.
he's probably a gymnast, though, because that's like you would aerial out of that normally. So I think he knows what he's
And he
doing.
stuck the landing.
And he had some air.
And I got to give him his flowers too, because you described it too. But to be a rookie in that moment, and before I think he had maybe 5 or 6 catches up to that point.
Man, he a baller, though.
But he is, and he was a baller at Oregon. I love watching him play football.
That's what he do.
The fact that he had the confidence to improvise on the route, and we call it a flag. Hey, flag me. If I know I can go over the top, you see an arm as a quarterback, I know you're taking, because there are times you run a comeback, a hitch, a stop route, but if I beat the DB so bad or I see green grass, I'm going to give you this, and that means I'm going. And the fact that he gave him that and Baker trusted him to go make that play was highly impressive.
Right. And then if he would have ran with his post to run, he would have ran right into the safety.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have had to take it over.
No, that's what I'm saying. For him to improvise in that moment and know that, like, you don't see guys do that a whole lot.
Really, it was Baker, though. Let me freeze you real quick. Then
Runaway MVP.
All right.
I'm rocking with him, man.
Let's talk about another receiver, because apparently they do not want to use him as corner. So he's a receiver. So let's talk about Travis Hunter, because if I'm being honest, I didn't even know, I never saw him in the game at all until he was lined up offsides. And then the Brian Thomas Jr. touchdown got pulled back. It's the only time I saw Travis Hunter in the game. 4 receptions, 15 yards. Okay, Aqib. If you were Travis's teammates, would you have been okay with him getting baptized the morning of a 1 p.m. game?
Of course. I mean, your pregame routine is your pregame routine. You know what I'm saying? It got something to do with God. You better not be criticizing what somebody got to do with God. God don't play no games, man. Wish somebody would have something to say about that. But you can do whatever you want. He wasn't late. You know what I'm saying? It didn't affect nothing that his teammates had going on. It wasn't like they was like, where's Travis? He getting baptized. Like, you know what I'm saying? It ain't affect nothing that they had going on in the game. But
it's probably better than guys waking up hungover.
Exactly, or waking up fucking smoking a blunt or something. You know what I'm saying? He like getting baptized. These guys wake up, take a shot, smoke a blunt for the game. You know what I'm saying? So you can pull up late to the motherfucker. So, but what I do have a problem with is how they using him.
Yeah.
He running around on offense. He just running all these routes. He don't never get the ball. You get in the red zone, you try to throw him a corner route, you throw him a shot. Only time he get the ball is the quick motions. He get everybody to get deep, boom, throw him a check down, let him catch and run. Or you throw him a quick screen. That's all his targets came from, one shot and all little quick passes. Bro, you could put him in the game for 9 plays and do that exact same thing. Then you could bring him in motion and fake that, run the ball. Then you can bring him in motion and fake the screen to him and have it open somebody else up. Like, you just create way more confusion. You think you make it smaller when you just bring him in. But no, when he come in, Chris gonna say, hey, leave, hey, 12-inch screen. Then I'm gonna jump the screen and get hit. And I'm gonna be like, Chris, why the fuck you tell me it was a screen?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And then the next time I'm gonna stay back, you gonna throw the screen, he gonna get 12 yards. And then the next time the linebacker say he just got 12 yards, he gonna get to running out there. We gonna run the ball up the middle. So like you could create a small package for him and be dominant with the shit. And he had the same 5 touches, then not letting him play defense where he played 22 snaps on defense and he almost had a pick that quick. He jump a slant that quick and boom, it ricochet up. The D-line almost like, bro, Newsome is brand new. He come in, first play, he in the game, up top roasted, post, cover 4. He can't play cover 4. Like if that's Travis over there, he's not gonna be beat on no post. Like he had a great day against Smith and Jigba. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think he caught a curl in front of him. That's it. He had great coverage on him. So man, it's mind-boggling, man. It's mind-boggling. You just want him to run. He don't even run full speed half the time. He just like running through zones, not getting the ball. Like it's just bullshit. It's mind-boggling, man. You start him on defense, bro. Give him 25 plays on offense. 15 of them is decoys. Put the ball in his hand 10 times. Red zone, throw him his shots. Like, I don't see why that's so hard for Liam.
Yeah, and I'm...
You wanted him on offense.
I do, but I'm starting to sway a little bit because if you're going to keep using him like you are, then there's no point to have him out there that many plays on
15
offense.
yards? Come on.
No, and there's not enough times where he's the primary receiver. I know Brian Thomas Jr. is your guy, but you've got to give Travis some opportunities as the primary option, at least as number 1 on the route. And those plays you're talking about, we call those gump routes. Run, Forrest, run. Just run your ass out of the play, take a safety, take a DB out, and then we're going to find BTJ behind it, or we're going to check it down. We're going to find Brown. We're going to get the ball to other guys. I don't know what you're using him for if you're just using him for some of those routes, and he's not even in the play. He's not even in the progression. So that's another story. I'm still staying on my hill, Skip. I still think if you give him all of the offensive reps, let him focus on that, but give him more opportunities on offense.
He damn near had all the offensive reps yesterday, played like 70 plays.
Yeah, but they're still not getting, he's not getting targets. He's not getting the ball. But you see, okay, but you can't deny, though, when he caught that ball on the flat, and I know it's a little 1-yard route, he almost falls, comes back up, makes a guy miss, and then picks up 12 yards and a first down. Get him the ball in his hands. You have to be able to get him the ball. Then they try a dumbass screen when you're backed up, when you already know it's dead because it's overloaded to that side to start the game, and boom. There's no opportunity. You're not giving him legit shots to be a playmaker. You're not giving him shots down the field. You're just trying to be too cute with it right now. Just let him be a receiver in the offense. Don't treat him as Travis Hunter, as, okay, let's find different ways to get him. Just let him be in the offense. Let him be a primary guy. Let him be that starting X or the starting Z and let it flow naturally instead of trying to come up with too many different ways, which I think Liam Cohen is doing right now, to force him the football, and you think you're helping him, but you're hurting him. But back to the original point, I'm with Aqib. I have no problem with it all. I'm happy for him. That was awesome to see. I really am. The fact that he got baptized, I'm so happy for him. That was cool to see. And just for a little more context, when you wake up the morning of a game, you have to stay in the hotel the night before, whether it's home or away. You have curfew, you're at the hotel, even on a home game. But when you wake up at that point, you're free. You can grab breakfast at the hotel if you want. If not, just check in real quick and you're out, and you have a couple hours before the game. So the church that he went to was only 14 miles away from Jacksonville. I played in Jacksonville. I know where it's at. It's not far away. You have a direct route to the stadium afterwards. And as long as you don't break any team rules, you're not late or you're not causing a distraction by showing up or not being on time and making it a big thing, I have no issue with it. I'm happy for him. That was really cool to see of Travis Hunter.
Okay, back to the numbers. It was 58 snaps on offense to 22 on defense. So now for the year, it's 256 on offense to 148 on defense. And yesterday he caught 4 balls, as you point out, for 15 yards, but the play you so perfectly described was for 14 of those 15 yards. So he caught 3 other balls for a grand total of 1 yard, okay? 3 for 1, 1 for 14, 4 for 15 total. All right, now to the baptism. I obviously have no problem. I'm a God guy, so I loved it, and it was a very special thing for him to get baptized. I just was surprised he wouldn't wait until their bye week, or that if I were a teammate and he was a high-pick rookie, I'd say, well, couldn't you have done this in July or August, or waited until the bye week to do this on a Sunday? You almost have to do it on a Sunday, or it doesn't work. It's not the same. And yet, this is a very emotional and moving experience for him. And if I were his teammate, I would say, gee, aren't you a little distracted before a 1 o'clock game when you just got baptized? It's such a milestone in your life that you want to be able to savor and appreciate and stay at the church for a little while after to enjoy it with everybody who was at the service. And now I'm back to what Dion told Troy Aikman that Troy used a couple of Monday nights ago, or last Monday night it was, when Jacksonville played on Monday Night Football. He said, and Dion has told me this also, that Travis Hunter likes 3 things in his life. He likes football, and he likes video games, and he likes fishing. And Troy added, not necessarily in that order. And Troy's point was, you have to use him a lot on both sides of the ball, the way Dion did, to keep him engaged, because he's not driven to be a great football player. He is extremely gifted, and he's a really great kid, but he's not on fire to be the greatest football player he can be. That Dion says, to keep him interested, he's so gifted, you got to play him both ways so that he stays locked in. This was a little indication to me that he's not that locked in right now with Jacksonville, because he's going to the game thinking, they're not going to really use me anyway, because for him, 22 plays on defense is a joke. You have made the case that, especially as a corner, you have to play every snap to play your way into the flow of the game. Mm-hmm. You have to get the rhythm of, if you're taking their one, whatever it is, you have to start to figure out the rhythm of it, the flow, the movement. You got to get your legs underneath you to where you can react quicker, because if you're in and out, he's getting yanked during a defensive series.
Right.
Well, it's just ridiculous. It's wrong. And if I know him through Dion the way I think I know him through Dion, he's just losing interest. Like, man, I don't know. I'm barely. He had 2 tackles yesterday. Okay, that's it. He had no pass breakups, no nothing on defense, because it's 22 snaps. And then on offense, he was on the field 58 snaps, but this is a joke to him that he caught 4 balls for 15 yards, and he's going to check out at some point. Like, well, you don't appreciate me. Why should I get up for playing for you? Where he's starting to just kind of be half-hearted in the routes he's running. And again, I'm not knocking his character, because he's high character.
Right.
It's just that he is so great at what he does. He is so one of one. He is so rare. You better utilize it and let him get into the flow on offense and defense. And I hear what you say about, it's hard to practice both sides. It's hard to, but he is so good at what you did. He's at least in your ballpark for what he can do. And that just comes so naturally. I don't know how much you need to practice that. You do have to practice this, the running the routes and getting the timing with the quarterback. With Trevor
and all that.
I mean, it's a way to do it that's not rocket science, though. But to your point, he did have a pass breakup. I don't know if they gave it to the D-line, because
it didn't register on the stat.
Yeah, so they probably gave it to the D-line. Yeah. He touched it last.
Okay.
So they probably gave it to him. He ended up dropping the interception. But you need that time for his angle. Like a couple times, it was a run to his side. He kind of got caught inside, let the ball get outside. That's just because your reps. You got to, you know what I'm saying? It's a different speed of the game.
It is.
You got to keep that ball inside you. And then another time, he was like in the slot. They showed, man, he dropped zone. They caught a little hitch, and he kind of came at this angle. So your angles be different when you had the speed of the game down. But I feel like, man, it's not rocket science. I don't need that much timing with you to throw you big corners. Like if we run this corner, then run you on the big corner. And if we get this corner to hang in the middle, to throw that thing back shoulder, like I don't need that much timing for that. I don't need that much timing to just throw you a back shoulder.
Yeah.
I don't need that much timing to run them shot plays, bring you in motion like they've been doing, run them shot plays and check it down to you. Like I don't need that much time to throw you them screens that I'm throwing you. Like them are no timing plays. That's how Dion could do. Dion could just come in the game and shit, throw me a post, bro. Or just throw me a screen real quick.
Right.
That's how I sit. I didn't practice shit in Kansas. I ain't practice no offense. They say you on cover 4, if they playing a lot of cover 4, we're going to bring you in and run a seam. All right, Todd, hey, as soon as I come and stick like this, just throw that motherfucker. I'm going to go get it. Like, bruh, it's not rocket science.
Like Tez yesterday. How many reps do you think he got last week with Baker?
Of doing that? No, probably
That's just a football player, bro. Just throw that shit. I'm gonna go get it.
That's a vet. You don't see that from a rookie. That's a vet move, and the fact they did it in that moment too was impressive. But to your point, there is an element of, even if you're just coming in to run a corner route, there's so many different factors off of that. If the DB's high, I need to know that you need to break it flat. If he's on your back hip, take it high. If it's cover 2,
it's not you
sell it
football
like
though.
a circus.
It's not you football though.
It's
we
not, but
know
I just trust as a quarterback that you know and understand these things to where, all right, you ran it 3 times in practice. One time we're going to give you a DB over the top, and I know you're going to flatten it. The next time we're going to have a trail DB. I know you understand to take it high. And then the next time we're going to run cover 2, so I know you can stem inside, run a circus route or a bench route, and get to your landmark, because there's so many different
so why
things.
we can't have that period? All right, on this period right here,
because you're not going to run the same play 3 times in a row in one period
but
with him at that spot.
But it's not rocket science to do it. All right, look, in the red zone, if we're going to run 8 plays this period in the red zone, Travis, first 4 of them coming to you.
Yep.
We're gonna play it against cover 2. Let's run it like that. Hey, now this time it's going to be man. Run it like this. And this time it's going to be cover 4. Run it like this. Boop, get your ass out. Let's get to the rest of our red zone.
You've got
that's not rocket science.
But you've got to run so many other plays in the red zone. You can't just run 4 Travis Hunter plays in a row.
Why?
Because you only get 1 red zone day during the week. You know this.
I know that. And if Travis Hunter going to be a big part of our red zone, let's knock out these 4. And it's not like we have one period of on red zone days.
But why are you running 4 plays for Travis Hunter if he's only going to be in the game for maybe 1 red zone play? You got to.
But he's not. He's not.
You're saying you want to run those plays because you're going to run all 4 of them on Sunday.
This the same play. This the same play. We don't know what look we're going to get. We're going to make sure when we run this play, the ball coming to your ass, know how to run this play against all these coverages. They run this coverage, and this coverage. We're going to run this play against this coverage, this coverage, this coverage. You need to know how to run it. First 3 plays, all right, get your ass out. Boop, let's get our red zone. Let's get on with the period. Then on the next red zone period, okay, let's do all the quick passes to you. 3 of them, get your ass out. Let's get on with the period.
But then that leaves what?
If I'm the head coach, I'm going to say, all right, look, hey, offense on red zone days, we need 10 plays. I'm the head coach. I'm Liam. I'll run the show, bro. I'll make the script.
Yep.
Like, what the fuck are we doing? He's just a bonehead, bro. He's a bonehead.
Hey,
that's why Travis is.
I'm not Liam, bro.
Wait a minute. You got the most talented player on your team, and he's absent.
No,
that's a bonehead.
I'm starting to agree with you on the way they're using them. The problem I have with that is, okay, you give them those 3 or 4 plays, you run it the same way. You know, I mean, when you get on a call sheet in the red zone, here's our plus 40, our shot zone, 6, 7 plays, 25 to the 21, 5 or 6 plays. Then you get from the 20 to the 14 or the 16, 5 or 6. There's so many plays in that section, and then you have to worry about short yardage and goal line, different personnel groupings. It's tough to say, all right, I get 10 plays this period. 4 of them are only going to Travis Hunter, and the other 6, we're only going to get to maybe run a couple in that period. I can't get BTJ going. I can't get these other guys up to speed.
They got all the rest of the week. And if I score 1 touchdown.
But red zone's only 1 day.
If Travis have 1 touchdown and another, he already got 1 deep catch. If he had 1 touchdown now, then it's worth it.
Yep.
It's worth it at that point. I guarantee you.
Hindsight, yeah.
I would make practice fucking 15 minutes longer. Because we got Travis Hunter, nigga. We need an extra 15 minutes. Bill Belichick could do that.
Yeah. So you're saying, you're still standing firm with, hey, 100% on defense.
Hell yeah.
Couple sections, red zone, 3rd down, got to have it situations.
I'm gonna have you. It don't necessarily got to be 3rd down. I'm gonna have how they use them now. They bring them in motion.
Yeah.
And run something off the motion.
Most of the time, it's just a disguise too,
right. And he a check down, right?
Yeah.
He really the check down. I might give him a jet, just so you know. I will give him the jet.
Yeah.
Then I'll leave him as a check down, run all my deep shots. I had quick game off of that same thing. Then I'll run him off, run the quick game, and make him out and up, have a double. I could create. I am a 39-year-old retired DB, and I could create a dog-ass package of 12 plays for Travis Hunter. And it's not rocket science for me to do.
But if you're a DB, don't you think on those 12 plays they're saying, hey, 12's in, we're taking them out?
But I can't, because shit, is it the screen? Is it the screen and go? Is it the double move off the screen? Everything look the same. So I can't tell you what the fuck it is as a DB. That's why I'm telling you, as a DB, they really could go to work with Travis, because it don't got to be that much shit. If you bring his ass on this jet mode, here we go again. I don't know which play. It's a quick game off of it. It's a shot off of it. It's some intermediate dagger off of it.
I just still think
and we always got him as the check down. If y'all drop too deep, check down. Travis do what he did yesterday. Bro, it's clockwork, bro. It's not rocket science.
No. And Aqib, how did you feel, big picture, looking at the game? I just want to touch on the Seahawks. How did you feel about the Seahawks right now as a whole?
Seahawks look good. Seahawks look like a playoff team.
Okay.
That defensive line had pressure out this world on Trevor. That's half the time why he couldn't throw the ball downfield. It's because that D-line, that's a 4-man rush.
Yeah, who had 2 sacks for them yesterday?
DeMarcus.
Thank you.
Yeah,
we missed DeMarcus Lawrence, not Micah Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence.
Hey, DeMarcus had great pressure. They put him and Leonard on the same side.
They did.
They get to running them games.
Yep.
Pressure out this world. So, I mean, they played Baker and them, and that was a skin of your teeth.
It was.
It was a skin of your teeth type of win.
It was. Maybe it was the NFC Championship game.
It may be the NFC. Yeah. They look like a top 4 NFC team.
Okay.
At this point right now, Seattle looked very legit. That defense is good. Sam Darnold and that offense is good. That run game is hitting. And if you got a 4-man rush like that, I'm telling you, that shit wins you games in big games.
It does.
And that defense, too, is that Mike McDonald, Jesse Minter, Martindale defense, which is tough. Those sacks yesterday on Trevor Lawrence was not by accident. There's guys that are not open down the field. And, again, you pre-snap like Denver as well. Where the hell am I sending the protection? And then after the ball snapped, the picture changes. So it's tough. You talk about defense. I'm going to talk about the offense. I'm a big Sam Darnold fan. I've known him for a long time. He is playing some really good football right now.
He is.
And I love what he said after the game because you hit the nail on the head, Skip. I got to give you credit. In that Bucs game, you said Sam Darnold's going to make a late interception that's going to turn this game around. And he did just that. And then they kick a walk-off field goal. Game's over. I love that the following week he comes into this game, has no interceptions, but not only did he not have any interceptions, he said after the game, I made it a point of emphasis, which I don't know, he's probably been doing this for a long time, but the fact now that it's clicking tells me he's getting great coaching.
Yep.
But he said, I made it a point of emphasis in this game to not make a bad play worse, to take what they give me, even if that's a check down. And you need that in this type of game. When it's a low-scoring defensive game and your defense is playing that well, you just can't make the big mistake and give them extra opportunities on offense. And he did just that. 2 passing touchdowns. Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Oh, crazy.
He's the real deal. This is the first time I've the Bucs game I saw, watched him, broke down the tape. This was the game I really watched and broke down his route running. I didn't realize he had that top end speed, man. He is legit.
He's a top 3 receiver for
I don't know I don't know what's in the water at Ohio State right now with those receivers though. But
it ain't Ohio State. All the top guys just choose to go to Ohio State.
Okay, all right. Well, they got LSU too and all that. But
right now, the top guys are all just choosing to go to Ohio State.
Where the money is.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. They got some money.
Well, the top guys are going there and they're developing the right way because they're making an impact.
They are.
Abuka, those guys are playing some good football. But I was really, really impressed with Sam Darnold. If he can keep playing that way, be consistent, make great decisions, protect the football, he's going to give this defense and the Seahawks a chance every
Even though he and his offense went 1 for 12.
1 for 12
on third down.
Yeah.
1 for 12?
That's my point, though. When you get in these defensive battles, you can't make the bad play because Jacksonville couldn't get anything going on offense either. They had, I know they got that touchdown call back when Travis lined up offsides, and that was a penalty. He was in the neutral zone.
Anyway, it should have been.
It was, but other than that, they did a great job of forcing Jacksonville to go the long way, and they kept getting behind the chains on offense. They were getting, because of those sacks and some of the penalties, they were getting in 3rd and long, and that's when guys like Mike McDonald and that defense, they start licking their chops and know, all right, we won, it's over.
And if you go 1 for 13 on 3rd down, you better have a guy who can quick strike like Jackson.
Yep. Boom.
And they got one.
They got one.
So, hey,
the other thing
like that
just blows me away about Seattle, they have won 9 straight road games.
Yeah.
9 straight road games?
That's impressive.
He got like the best record as a early road coach, whatever that is.
And he's 4-8 at home, which is weird.
Hey, sometimes,
but that bodes well for the postseason because if they have to go to, let's say, Tampa, they're going to feel good about themselves, right?
I used to like playing on the road too. Like my interceptions,
really,
it's like crazy on the road.
Unless you had to fly 5 hours to get there.
5 hours.
You didn't like the 5 hours.
Lee might not do shit that day. But my interceptions on the road, it's like, I don't know the number, but I know my career. And I don't know if it's just I could just, you know what I'm saying, not have no kids, no wifey around. I could just lock in. I used to fucking go crazy on the road. Maybe it's like that Baker Mayfield. I look at the crowds, me versus everybody.
I know.
Type vibe.
That's what it is.
I don't know what it is. I used to go crazy.
Well, you want to shut those people up.
Yeah,
real.
There's no better feeling too on offense when the crowd's empty on the road and you're taking a knee.
Oh, God.
And it's all your fans that are left. So
yeah,
I agree.
Hold on, Kinsey. It's getting close to that time. We ain't gonna end without going Dylan, is we?
We aren't doing Dylan today.
Oh man, I was looking forward to it.
We're going to be back here tomorrow. Yeah, we're going to be back here tomorrow.
I got to do one tomorrow.
But before we close out, though, I do want to do Monday Night Football predictions. We got a doubleheader again on Monday night, so I'm going to need everybody's double. I'm going to go Cody first We got Bills at Falcons, and then we got Bears at Commanders.
You want prediction and score? So who wins?
Yep.
What's the score?
Yep.
All right, I think the Falcons keep it competitive
Okay.
at home. I'm riding with my guy Penix Jr., but I don't think it's going to be enough for the Bills. Or going up against the Bills. I have the Bills winning 34-24. Wow. And then the other game, I think we're going to see Jaden Williams or Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams put on a show tonight. I think they're going to play some good football and show why they were number 1 and 2 picks. But I have the Commanders winning 27-24.
Okay.
Okay.
What do you got?
Commanders, 28-14.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Bills, they're going to drop 30 in that dome, man.
Really?
You put them on the turf, that's all they do is drop 30. The Falcons, solid. I think they got a good run defense. They had their hands full with Josh and them coming off of L. And telling you, there's something about that Atlanta. People play good there. I used to go crazy in that thing. But it's something about that atmosphere in there. It's a home field advantage, but it's almost not. Like, you crank up the road team when teams come play in Atlanta, man. It's a DJ. The vibes be up in there. So the Falcons, I think they're going to lose, and the Bills going to have 30. I don't know what the Falcons going to do. But
okay,
How'd
question mark
the
on the
Eagles do coming off their first L when they went to the Giants? They didn't do very well.
They didn't do very well.
Okay, just for the record.
I know Dart got them Broncos, so we'll talk about that tomorrow.
All right, we will. Okay, little known fact about the Atlanta Falcons defense right now, it's ranked number 1 in the National Football League in yards allowed.
Yeah.
Not in points, but in yards, it's number 1. Bijan is starting to cook. He's last 3 games he's averaged almost 100, and the Bills have the 3rd worst run defense. So I'm going to go Falcons in a little bit of an upset.
Ooh.
Even though they have firepower, they do. But I think he's going to run the ball. I think he'll get 125 against Buffalo, and that will be enough for them to pull one out 27-24.
27.
And I'm with both of you guys in the other game. The Commanders are just they're just too good for the Bears, especially at home. Jaden seemed to get right back in the flow last week, but I think Caleb can keep it somewhat interesting. I'll say they win 27-22. The home team does. I get fairly.
Commanders. Okay, 3 of you guys for the Commanders.
Yeah.
But you're taking the Falcons.
I'm taking the Falcons.
Okay, with the upset. So we will find out tonight for a little double-header action, and then we will be right back on this couch on Tuesday. But we do have some exciting news because we are going to be switching our day from Thursday to Friday, which is exciting. So we're going to be Monday, Tuesday, Friday. Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
So we will see you guys there, 11:30 a.m. PST, 2:30 EST. Catch you guys Monday, Tuesday, Friday. See you next time.